You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Welcome to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium, Grand Prairie, Texas. This matchup in the 2024 Minor League Cricket season Central Division is featuring the Dallas Xforia Giants and the St. Louis Americans. St. Louis Americans winning the toss and choosing to have a bowl. The man with the ball in hand is the captain, Abhimanyu Lamba. The opening batters for the Dallas Xforia Giants are Chaitanya Bishnoi and Gaurav Bajaj. Umpires, Vishnu Pillai and Partha Patanaik. Commentator is Brian Walters. I'll be with you for the next 3 hours, featuring this matchup again in the Central Division, a very talented division this year. Missing one team, the Dallas Mustangs, are not taking part this season. After having won the championship last year, they're not taking part this season, and so the two teams that usually share this stadium, the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium, are the Dallas Xforia Giants and the Dallas Mustangs. Mustangs not taking place, so the Xforia Giants are exclusively playing at home. There's a look at your Xforia Giants. Chaitanya Bishnoi and Gaurav Bajaj are the first two names in your screen and the first two on the field. And it is going to be Abhimanyu Lamba. Right arm over the wicket. Off and running, here we go for the first ball. Good delivery, good lifting ball. Goes through to the wicket keeper. Wicket keeper today is Munir Kakar. It's a good first delivery, and I think you just saw evidence there of how good a pitch this is. That ball landed on about maybe short of driving length, just short of driving length on off stump, and carried through to Munir Kakar at about chest height. So that gives you a sense of how good a pitch this is. Excellent conditions overall, and the Dallas Xforia Giants were put into bat and looking to see how well they can get started here. Another good delivery, bang on target. A couple of dot balls to start things here in this match number one for the St. Louis Americans. Almost said St. Louis Cardinals, that's the wrong sport. St. Louis Americans are playing their initial match for the 2024 season. The Dallas Xforia Giants have already played. They've played one and lost that one. It was in the Prairie View Cricket Complex about 260 miles south of here last weekend. Looking to see if they can turn things around here against St. Louis. Good delivery again, bang on target, 3 in a row. And the St. Louis Americans look like live wires in the field. That's good to see, very enthusiastic. Some of that enthusiasm is because of the fact that I mentioned last week, if you were listening, that they have the opportunity through the initiative sponsored by minor leagues to include a minimum of 2 U21 players in every side. And I think that's a great initiative and a good way to get the youngsters involved. We'll go through who those under 21 players are shortly. Next delivery, shortish. In fact, it was about, I would say, not quite a bouncer, but getting to him at an uncomfortable height. Fought it off. Looking at it live, it appeared as though it might have come off of the body, but no signal from umpire Vishnu Pillai. So we'll assume that that came off of the glove. And so the first run is on the way. 1 run on the board from the first 4 balls, and now the left-handed Chaitanya Bishnoi is going to be on strike. And Abhimanyu Lamba staying over the wicket, which is what you like to see. Slanting the ball across the left-hander. Many bowlers immediately like going around the wicket to the left-hander, but I think this angle across the left-hander from over the wicket is a better one. So watch for that fielder top right of your screen first slip, because if the ball finds the outside edge of the bat, it will be going in that direction. 2 fielders outside the circle, deep backward square and deep third. Short ball, cut away over the top. That might have the legs to get to the boundary. So the first 4 of the day, not the best of deliveries from Abhimanyu Lamba. Very, very short and not much pace on it, and provided a lot of width. So he essentially just opened up his shoulders and accepted the gift that was given to him. First ball that Chetene Bishnall faces, cashes in, and a very loose delivery. We'll see on the replay here. It's just very wide, outside, probably a foot outside the line of off stump, and bouncing, giving the room to express himself through the offside. So that's, he'll bowl many better balls than that, Abimanyu Lamba. And let's see what he does here with the comeback ball. This is the last ball of over number 1. Better on a good length, just outside of, maybe outside off stump, and he allows it to go through Chetene Bishnall. So that is the end of over number 1. Productive start, with the exception of the loose ball that got put away. So 5 runs from that first over. At the end of 1, the score is 5 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
One over in the books, and it is the veteran left arm pace of Nasir Jamali who will take up the attack from the theta end, the northern end of the ground here in Grand Prairie. A little bit older, a little bit long in the tooth these days, Nasir Jamali. Left arm over. Worked away into the deep, should just be a single. Make the turn, come back for the second. That's aggressive running. Didn't think that there was 2 there initially, and I don't think that the captain is happy with 2 runs having been conceded there. But just working that one off the hips, Gaurav Bajaj getting it down to deep square leg for the second of 2 runs. So Nasir Jamali, these days 35 years old, former USA opening bowler. Swings the ball tremendously. Left arm swings it into the right-handed batter and away from the left-handed batter. And really a good cricketer all around. Again, played at the high enough level that he represented the country for a number of years. Full, driven back past the bowler. Wanted a run there, but not going to be no room there for that run. A little bit of confusion, but in the end they chose again, or they selected or elected to not go for that single. So looking at the dimensions, where the ball goes straight, and just look a quick at this look at this replay again. This is driven back to the bowler himself very easily. Could have gone on and hit the stumps. Good camera work there. Had that flicked his finger, the non-striker might have been in trouble. Big strike down the ground. That's going to clear mid-on. Doesn't go all the way to the boundary. It landed and sort of died. There's a little bit of rain that's been around recently here in the Grand Prairie area, and it has made the outfield just a tad slow, so the ball doesn't quite race across the ground as it would have ordinarily a couple of weeks ago when we were still in the throes of these hot Texas summers. Started saying the dimensions straight down the ground. In other words, the top and the bottom of your screen, the boundary is about 65 yards in both directions. And I'll go over the other boundaries here in just a second. Next delivery from Nasir Jamali. Driving this, oh, quick single. Oh, a direct hit there. Could have asked a question or 2. But that's a good solid run taken by Gaurav Bajaj. Back to the dimensions. The far eastern side of the ground, in other words, as you look at the screen now to your right. First, let's look at this replay. Not quite swinging it as much. Look at the throw here. Good camera work, but he would have just gotten home, I think. So a little bit of risk taken, but sometimes you want to put the pressure onto the fielding side, and this opening pair looks like they're starting to do just that. Anyway, back to the dimensions. As you look at your screen, to the right of the screen. The boundary square on that side is the closer of the two. Actually, now we're talking about the boundary on the left of your screen. And it is 65 yards today, so the smaller boundary. The boundary that is to the western side of the ground, as you look at the screen exactly in the direction toward the left of your screen, that is the big boundary today. As you look at the square, you're using the far eastern side of the square. So the far eastern pitch number 8. A big enough square that you have 8 pitches. It's the one all the way to the east. And so a big hit on the left side of your screen toward the west side of the ground is an 80-yard strike. So pay attention here, because you will see some evidence that the batters might want to be a little bit more judicious when playing to the big side, and they may go for the big shots when playing to the short side. That's something to pay attention to. A couple of dot balls close things out here in over number 2. End of 2 overs, the score is 10 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Ten to the loss, 5 runs each from the first 2 overs. Abimanyu Lamba continuing. This one is down the leg side. Appeal for catch. Nothing given. And not only is it not given, there is now a wide signaled by umpire Vishnu Pillai. Bowlers seem to think that that came off of something, and I think the keeper would have had the same opinion. But the only person whose opinion matters is Vishnu Pillai. Might be able to pick this up on the replay here. In swing. Ball certainly swinging. Can't tell from that angle. But umpire Vishnu Pillai thinking that that did not tickle anything on the way through. So it's just a wide. Slashed away over the top. Running away fine. Deep third cannot get there in time. And that's a boundary. So started with a wide down the leg side. Overcorrected. And went a little bit too wide outside off. Gaurav Bajaj throwing the bat at that one and getting a boundary, thick edge, and it flies away down to the boundary. Here you see overcorrection. In fact, you have to give credit to Gaurav Bajaj. He advanced toward the bowler that time, came running down the track. And so a ball that would have just been short of driving length became a delivery that he could score off of. Goes off the outside edge for 4. So second boundary of the innings. And this is a proper looking shot. And I will tell you, this is a much better shot than the one that went away for 4 the previous ball. Solid punch straight down the ground. Would have gone for 4 had it not been deflected by the bowler himself. So he may have saved 3 runs for himself there. Good looking stroke. Proper cricket shot, if you will. High front arm. And that ball is punched right back down the ground. Take a good look at it here. Solid looking shot, and I'll tell you, you see there, just number 10, Adnit Jam coming into your picture. He would not have been able to get to that one, and he may consider himself unlucky there, Gaurav Bajaj, to not have picked up a boundary. This is now Chaitanya Bishnoi on strike. Staying over the wicket, short, and it gives him another loose delivery. Boy, he's going to have to fix those balls, because he's giving him room outside of off and very short, and any batter will want to lock in on those. Abimanyu Lamba needs to be fuller, and he needs to be straighter to Chaitanya Bishnoi. Look at this delivery. Very short and very wide. No problem cashing in on those types of deliveries. Chaitanya Bishnoi is a very experienced cricketer. Former first-class cricketer from India, and he can cash in on those all day long. He will absolutely love those. Chaitanya Bishnoi, now 30 years old, and just absolutely brilliant cricketer. Can score off of good deliveries. So you maybe don't want to give him bad deliveries. That will only prompt his stroke making in a way that you don't want to have happen. Next delivery to him. Better ball in terms of the length, but the line is a little too wide. So bowled it fuller, which is I think what you want to have, but the line is still just a little too wide to the left-hander. And so for the second time in this over, he delivers a wide. Not quite finding the right radar here, Abimani Lamba. He is a good bowler, very good bowler, and you would like to think that he can make that adjustment to the extent that you have a bit of a fast start here. The scoring rate is 8.4 and over, and we're 3 delivers remaining in over number 3. That's a better ball, dropped into the cover area. Oh, direct hit from backward point. Good piece of action there, good accurate throw. Easily getting there in time was Gaurav Bajaj, but that will stick in the minds of the batters because they will pay attention to who is hitting the stumps from where. Quick single, look at this pickup and throw. Very accurate. I believe that's Naman Anwar at backward point. That's a brilliant throw. And just knocking the stumps, direct hit. So that will keep the batters interested. They'll pay attention to who is doing what and how they're able to manufacture runs based on who they want to run against. Looking to work this one away. Loud appeal, begging and given. Oh my goodness. Well, Gaurav Bajaj is not happy. He's still standing there, but he has to go once umpire Vishnu Pillai has raised his arm or his finger. He does not have a choice. The first wicket goes. Take a look at this. Maybe we can tell why Gaurav Bajaj was not very happy. Abimani Lamba, much fuller in swing. That is a beautiful delivery for me. That is banging front. I think impact is in line with off stump, and I believe that's hitting middle and leg because he's bowling in swingers and that ball is swinging in. I think when Gaurav Bajaj goes back and looks at that replay, he will agree, even though most batters will never agree that they're out LBW. But just from an umpire standpoint, umpire Vishnu Pillai taking his time to make the decision. That's what you like to see them do. And this one again, swinging in. And then finally, I think impact is just in line with off stump. And I think that is crashing into middle or middle and leg. Bowling in swingers, so the ball is doing a little bit, but I think for me that does enough to stay within. The impact is within the stumps. In other words, it's in line with off stump. And then that's crashing for me into the wicket. So good decision for me by umpire Vishnu Pillai. First wicket is down. Opening partnership of 22 is broken. And the new batter is now coming to the wicket. This is going to be Akarshit Gomel. Interesting matchup here, by the way. Harmeet Singh, who is the captain, he'll be probably batting about 5 or 6, somewhere around there. But this is, in fact, his first or his last game of the season because senior USA team duties call as the USA team will be touring Namibia. And so he will be taking off after this game, and I believe that the man who is now on strike, Akarshit Gomel, is going to take over as captain. So Akarshit Gomel, and not only is he a dangerous hitter, for me probably the best batter in the side, but now ostensibly will be asked to help captain the side, and we'll pay attention to how well he handles that. But work to do before then. Here's the last ball. Great delivery, appeal for a catch, and is it going to be given? Not going to be given. He's bowling in swingers. That would have tickled something that may have come off the pad, and the fielding side is extremely upset, but I think umpire Vishnu Pillai gets it right again. Let's look at this replay. So look at the ball swinging in, coming in from outside the line of off. There. Oh, did not come off the pad, but I also don't think it hit anything. Kind of hard to tell from there, but no deflection visible, and I don't think that there was any way that that could have been given out. So once again, I think that one was a good call by umpire Vishnu Pillai. End of 3, eventful over, 22 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Jatani Bishnoi is on strike, facing up to Nasir Jamali. Played into the offside, no run there. If you take a look at where Chaitanya Bishnoi is batting, I don't know if we can get an up-close look at that, but I think he's batting on off stump. So he's trying to get all the way across to be able to cover the outswing of Nasir Jamali. So look where his front foot or his back foot ends up when he gets into his batting stance. I think you'll see that it's directly in line with off stump. Take a look at this. Watch his left foot to see where it ends up. Right there. He's batting on off stump. So he's essentially trying to get all the way across to cover that swing to be able to, oh, good delivery. He's trying to get all the way over to be able to accommodate for the ball that is leaving him. So that is good batting. That is good awareness, because if you're batting, for example, most batters will bat either on leg stump or middling leg or maybe even middle. But to bat on off stump potentially leaves your leg stump exposed, but what it does if the bowler is swinging the ball away from you is allows you to get over in time to cover that swing. Next delivery, played into the offside. Wanted a single there, not going to get it. So good start to the over here by Nasir Jamali. 3-dot balls on the trot. Never covered the power play overs. You're still inside the power play overs. This is over number 4, so 3, I'll make that 4. 3 balls and 2 overs are remaining. There's your look at the power play or the field. Square of the wicket is where the fielders in the deep are. So everyone else inside the circle. That's a good representation on that graphic. No run there again. So 4-dot balls on the trot. So if you're not familiar, the power play inside that smaller circle around the field, not the bigger circle. The bigger circle is the entire field, but the smaller circle inside is your power play or the field restriction area. During the power play, you can only have 2 fielders outside of that circle. So good representation there by our graphics team and the great Hassan. Last 2 balls coming up here in over number 4. Goes over the top, doesn't hit it cleanly, and there's one of the 2 men in the deep. That is Adnit Jam, the young U21 player. In fact, he's a U19 player. Adnit Jam is all of 15 years old, if you can believe it. So not only is it the case that you have to have 2 U21 players in the team in the playing 11, but one of the ones in the 11 is all of 15 years old. So think back to what you were doing when you were 15. I would suspect that it would not be playing in a national minor league match. So 2 balls remaining here. Make that 1 ball remaining in over number 4. Nasir Jamali now bowling to the right-handed Akashik Gomel. Quick single. Trouble here. Oh, a direct hit there would have been tricky. That was a bit of a tricky run. They take off running. Akashik Gomel is off the mark, but I think he'll not want to take that risk again. That throw coming into the non-strikers end. This replay will give us a good look. Look at the bottom of your screen. Here he comes. Firing there, and couldn't quite see it from that angle, but I think he would just have been short had that hit. So 2 runs coming from that over. Good over bowled by Nasir Jamali. End of 4. The score is 24 for 1. There you see on the replay, oh, he's gone by a yard and a half. He would have been gone, Akashik Gomel, and that would have been an absolutely horrible way of getting out. So you're going to want to pay attention to what singles you choose to take and when. And I thought that was a poorly judged single. He may consider himself lucky there, Akashik Gomel. But he is on strike now to face the new bowler. In the first bowling change of the day, it's going to be Mohamed Ilyas, bowling from the river end, right arm over the wicket. Bang on target. Mohamed Ilyas, a little bit more experienced now, a little bit older, probably 35 years old or so. played at the highest level for Pakistan for some time, but these days makes his living in the St. Louis area. Good start, bang on target. He's a type of bowler who will hit the deck hard and not quite as quick as he used to be, but certainly quick enough. And I think you'll see here that he'll be a little bit tricky to score off of. Karshik Gomel plays this away beautifully. That's going to race away. It's the long side of the field, but it doesn't make any difference. Beautiful looking shot. Just on top of it, riding the bounce, not necessarily overhitting it. More of a well-timed shot than anything else. And once it got through the infield, power play overs. This is the last or second to last of the power play overs. So your fielders in the deep are deep third and deep square leg. So nobody's sweeping on the offside. And he just plays this one ever so effortlessly. Look at this. Didn't overhit this ball. Just riding the bounce and just opening the face. The ball racing across the outfield. As I said, the outfield not quite as quick as it usually is, but that still had the legs to get there for 4. Good delivery. Closer to him this time. Dragged him into the shot. He plays and misses. And Karshik Gomel, his reaction tells you that he thought he should probably not have poked at that one. Coming down to have a look at the pitch, quizzical look at the pitch. I think the pitch is going to be very good for batting. It looks very green. It has a good amount of grass on it, but it's firm. The pace bowlers will like it because you can get out of it what you put into it. But I think that the ball comes onto the bat nicely, and so for me, par score on this kind of wicket is about 135, 140. Slapped away for 4 more. Now this one had more anger, and he absolutely lays into this one. It goes about in the same direction, but it had more intent behind it. Karshik Gomel showing his class here. A little bit too wide, and watch him climb into this one. Outside the line of off stump, probably a 6th stump line. There. Too wide, and Karshik Gomel staying intentionally leg side to make sure that he's able to access the offside. So .4 is how this over starts. 2 balls to go here in over number 5. Mohamed Ilyas has already conceded 8, so he's going to want to tighten up his line just a little bit. Every time he's gone too wide, he's been punished. What does he do here? Overcorrection down the leg side. Umpire Vishnu Pillai once again having to signal that he'll have to re-bowl that. That is wide number 3 in the inning so far. Doesn't sound like a whole lot, but essentially when you have a team under pressure, which they sort of did initially, but wides, extras of any kind really are a way of loosening that pressure, because you have to bowl an extra ball and you get an extra run. So not necessarily the best way of being able to attempt to build pressure. Still 2 balls to go here in over number 5. 8 balls to go inside the power play. Great delivery. That is the line that you want to be bowling. Absolutely brilliant. And it's a lifting ball on off stump. And from that angle with that line, this is exactly what you want. Look at this. Oh, beautiful delivery. That is a fast bowler's dream. Just short of length and rising. And at that length and at that pace, it's a tricky type of delivery to have to negotiate. So last ball coming up now. 9 from the over so far. Last ball of over number 5. 33 runs on the board. What else do we have in this over? Goes for the big slash and misses. So 2 loose deliveries in this over. They were both put away for 4, but 4 balls that were more difficult to score off of, and they were all dots. Look again at this last ball. Maybe just a touch wider this time, and he slashes at it. A little bit of outswing that did not help in Karshik Gomel's intent to be able to make contact with that. That is the end of 5. 33 runs on the board. 1 more over for the power play. We'll be right back. Quick summary there. Gaurav Bajaj, 11 from 11. Chaitanya Bishnoi, 10 from 11. Karshit Gomel 9 from 8. Gaurav Bajaj, the one man who was dismissed, courtesy of a beautiful in-swinging delivery from Abhimanyu Lamba. This is going to be the third over, being bowled by Nasir Jamali. And it is the last ball or the last over of the power play. 5 in the books, and that dot ball to start things off here in over number 6. So the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium, if you are in the Dallas, Texas area, please feel free to come down to this stadium and check out this match. And I do mean feel free, because there is no cost to attend this match other than the effort that it takes for you to get here. Oh my goodness, he tries a scoop shot and wears the cricket ball off of his helmet, and that would have hurt. Chaitanya Bishnoi plays the scoop shot. I don't know that at this stage of the innings that's what you'd want to have happen. And look at this, he gets in line there and tries to scoop it to fine leg, but that ball, remember he's bowling outswingers, Nasir Jamali, so that ball was actually swinging toward him and following him. That made it much more difficult to play that scoop shot, and he misses and gets hit in the helmet. So there is protocol that needs to be gone through. The umpires need to be sufficiently convinced that he is not hurt. You don't want to make sure, or you don't want to have a concussion. And, you know, that's in modern cricket, as with all sports. You're very conscious of not having any cricketer or any sportsman have a head injury. That is extremely dangerous, and you wear those helmets for a reason. Not sure why Chaitanya Bishnoi felt the need to play a scoop shot at this stage, even though, it has to be said, fine leg was open, fine leg was inside the circle. So in theory, you could get runs in that direction. But it's easy to sit here and criticize. If a batter sees the opportunity to score runs, there's no way to dissuade him from doing that. But I think he will think twice about doing that again, because that ball by the left-hander is swinging into or swinging away from him, and that shot, he had the ball following him. Oh my goodness. So Nasir Jamali loses his footing in his delivery stride, maybe just slipping a little bit there. His cleats not quite doing the job, but I think he's going to be fine. A little bit of a rough couple of overs or rough couple of balls. Watching this Nasir Jamali here, I think it's his plant foot where he slides. Oh no, it's his back foot. So watch his right foot or his left foot, his back foot, that kind of gives way just as he's coming into ball there. This is a more conventional shot played by Chaitanya Bishnoi into the outfield. Sweeper on the offside, cleans up, just a single there. And so the last 3 balls coming up here in over number 6. Nasir Jamal is third. His figures so far, none for 8, 2.3. And it's now going to be Chaitanya Bishnoi on strike. I'm sorry, Karshit Gomel on strike. Field, again, keeping both players outside of the circle square. So there's a deep point and a deep square leg. Those are the 2 outside the circle. Everyone else inside for at least the next 3 deliveries. Here is Nasir Jamali again. Short, but this time going down the leg side. For the first time, you see umpire Partha Patanaik in action. Just making sure that you get a sense of who the umpires are. Partha Patanaik, one of the more experienced umpires in the country. Vishnu Pillai, also very experienced. And both of them doing a good job so far. Next delivery, smashed. Oh, sliding stop, not cleanly stopped by mid-off. He'll get a single here. So the last 2 balls, that's the captain, I believe, at mid-off, Abhimanyu Lamba. Last 2 balls here in over number 6. Last 2 balls in the power play. Karshit Gomel and Chaitanya Bishnoi are your 2 batters, and they've put on 14 runs already for the second wicket. First wicket fell at 22, so a decent, if not overpowering, score in the power play. Last 2 balls coming up. width crashed away, but again, there's coverage out there. Good clean pick up and throw. That's good work in the deep. Athletic pick up and throw that time by the fielder out there in the deep. That is Nisarul Hakwadat. He does enough to limit the damage to 1 run. So this should be the last ball coming up now, barring any extras, of over number 6. I don't know that the scorecard is exactly accurate. I believe that we have 1 ball remaining and the scorecard says we have 2. We'll see what happens after this delivery. Worked away into the leg side. Do they want 2? Oh, they will get 2 as it was overrun that time by Nisarul Hakwadat. So an easy 2 to close things out, I believe. Yep, does close things out in over number 6. So 2 runs on that last ball, 6 from the over. At the end of 6, power play is over and the score is 39 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
We are now out of the power play, and it is going to be yet another bowling change. Ujwal Vinakota with the ball in hand, replacing Mohamed Ilyas, who just bowled 1 over. His 1 over cost 9 runs. Didn't think it was that bad of an over, but he was taken off after just 1. It's now going to be Ujwal Vinakota taking up the attack from the river and the southern end of the ground here in Grand Prairie. Bowling to Chaitanya Bishnoi, 11 from 14. Goes for a huge swipe outside the line of off. But once again, a loose delivery results in another wide. Ujwal Vinakota, right armor, bowling over the wicket. So you like the fact that he is attempting to create that angle going across Chaitanya Bishnoi, but just needs to get the line a little better. Looking to swipe this one away again. Chaitanya Bishnoi looks a little bit unlike the Chaitanya Bishnoi that you're accustomed to seeing. Usually a lot more fluid. I don't know whether or not the blow to the head has anything to do with that. You hope that it's not. But generally plays within himself. Those last 2 deliveries, he appeared to be looking to hit the ball out of the stadium. Here's Ujwal Vinakota again. This time he makes contact. There's a man in the deep, and it's going to be Wadat, who does well enough to limit the damage to 1 run. He's been fielding in that direction or in that position for the last couple of overs. Very quick across the ground, it looks like. And so very athletic from that standpoint. But I think you're going to want to see now that you're out of the power play, so you can be a lot more defensive with your field settings. There is a deep third. There is a deep fine leg. There's a deep mid wicket. There is a long off, or mid off is inside the circle. That's sliced away to the 5th person who is outside the circle. Again, that is Wadat. And you're going to want to make sure that you keep the damage down. What I mean by that is you can be a little bit more defensive in your field settings, and so even if you're just a little bit loose, you have more protection in the deep. So the idea here from the fielding side is that you're just attempting to keep things in and around 6 to 7 balls or runs per over. No single there. So 4 delivers into over number 7, just 3 runs on the board. So you like what you've done there. And the idea is now to try to build pressure, string together as many dot balls as possible, and then put the pressure back on the batting side. Partnership now worth 20, so it's coming along. These two have been there for a while, especially Chetende Bishnoi, who's opened the batting 12 from 12, make that 12 from 15, or 13 from 18. That doesn't exactly go where he was looking to play it, but he'll get a couple of runs. Good sliding stop in the deep. I believe that's Nasir Jamali down there. So 2 more runs. And now Chetende Bishnoi up to 15 from 19. The partnership now worth exactly what the first innings or the first wicket partnership was worth, 22. So 44 runs on the board, and this pair looking to see how they can push on and get something going around. Ooh, you'd want to think that they can get to about 145, 150. Oh, struck right back at the ball himself, Ujwal Vinakota. It goes down as a drop, but ultimately it was a very athletic stop. It was punched back in the air, so catchable. I think you'll see here on the follow through, he may have just put this down, bang, and it was right back at him. And that either sticks or it doesn't. It was to his bowling hand, but it was at a weird angle that he could not really have gotten around to catching that. So it officially goes down as a drop, but I think you'll find that that was a great piece of fielding. End of over number 7, 44 for 1.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So change in bowling, this appears to be Norman Anwar. You know him more as an aggressive opening batter, major league player. This first delivery should have been 1 run. It's played right down the ground and misfielded, and it goes away for a boundary. So Norman Anwar started to say, you know him more as an opening batter, very aggressive opening batter, major leaguer, all-round big hitter. But he's also a very good leg spinner. Starts out here, this ball is stroked down the ground for Akarshi Gomel, and it should have just been 1 run, but he ends up conceding 4 as the misfield down on the boundary results in that ball crossing the ropes. Hammered away into the deep, that's gonna be 4 more. Akarshi Gomel is on the charge. He's starting to feel like it's about time for him to get going, and that stroke brings up the 50. 52 for 1 is now the score. The partnership now worth 30 consecutive boundaries to start over number 8. Here's Norman Anwar tossing this one up. Ooh, I'll tell you what, he played that right off of leg stump. Had that missed, it would have been a really interesting shout. That would have been very close to have been an LBW. Quicker this time. Oh, he chopped on the quicker delivery. That does the trick. Akarshi Gomel tries to play the cross-batted shot, beaten for pace. The under edge finds the middle of middle stump, and after a couple of boundaries to start the over, Norman Anwar gets his revenge. Quicker delivery, and it is chopped on, and there you see the reaction there from Norman Anwar, because he knows that that went the way that he needed it to. The previous delivery was tossed up, and it was put away for 4. This one pushed through much more quickly, and it was the change in pace that did Akarshi Gomel that time. Norman Anwar successful. That is wicket number 2 that goes down. 52 runs on the board, but the big wicket of Akarshi Gomel, 21 from 14 with 4 fours, strike rate of 150, which is what you expect from him. But that dismissal means that you get deeper into the lineup, and the Xforia Giants are 52 for 2. So Naushad Sheikh is the new batter, taking over from Akashi Gomel. Plays off the back foot to backward point, no run. So the partnership had just gotten to the point where it was starting to look dangerous. They put on 30 and they were starting to accelerate, and then two consecutive fours to start this over. In the air, oh, what a catch! Beautiful catch, taking a short cover, extended fully up and to his left, it looked like, make that to his right. And he grabbed that almost with one hand. The ball was not hit very cleanly. He neither kept it down nor really gave it the full drive. Just kind of helped it in the air. Not a very clean strike. And Naman Anwar all of a sudden has 2 wickets in his first 4 balls. The first 5 balls rather. The first 2 balls of this over went for 4. Maybe this will give us a better look here. Driven in the air and full extension. He really took that only with one hand. That is a great catch. So you have a boundary, 2 straight boundaries to start the over, a wicket, a dot, and then another wicket. So Naman Anwar absolutely doing well here. 1 ball remaining in over number 8. And this is going exactly the way that you want it if you are the St. Louis Americans. As Naman Anwar, the first ball of the over, should have just been 1, but ends up being a boundary. And then a clean strike, the next ball by Akashik Gomel that went away for 4. But since then, you have a dot ball sandwiched around 2 wickets. So 3 straight dot balls. And all of a sudden, 2 wickets in the first over by who I believe would not be offended if you call him a part-timer, Naman Anwar. Better known with the bat in his hand than with the ball. But he's done well here. And this is going to be an interesting matchup. This is going to be Shubham Ranjane. So this is a major leaguer bowling to a major leaguer here. Shubham Ranjane featuring for the Seattle Orcas. Naman Anwar now with the last ball of the over. Does well enough, cuts this off. So ends with 4 straight dots, 2 of which were wickets. 8 runs coming from the over, but 2 big wickets in that over. At the end of over number 8, the score is 52 for 3. Good look at that catch again. Fantastic work. And that is the end of over number 8, 52 for 3. Ujwal Vinakota, 1 over in the books. Bowling now to Chaitanya Bishnoi. His 1 over cost 5 runs. And unfortunately for him, he's going to have to re-bowl this. So not the cleanest of lines being bowled by the pacemen of the St. Louis Americans. Not exactly maintaining a consistent line. That is wide number 6 that is bowled in the inning so far. Chaitanya Bishnoi, 15 from 20, strike rate of 75. He'll want to be better than that because it's now the fact that he is the senior partner. Open the batting, faced 20 deliveries, and you're into over number 9. So time is starting to run out on you a little bit. If you open the batting, you're going to want to start expressing yourself. Now, having said that, I suspect that the batter who will be coming in next is the captain who I mentioned earlier, Harmeet Singh, and he can change the game with the bat or the ball. Oh, hammered away for 4. A diving attempt at mid-wicket. Naman Anwar almost got to that. It missed his grasp by probably, I would guess, a foot. And he was not able to get to it, and it races away to the boundary for 4. So maybe Chaitanya Bishnoi overheard what I just said, because that strike was a strike of authority. Wants to get going, wants to put bat to ball here. And a change in the field now as Nasir Jamali is coming in from fine leg, and Abhimanyu Lamba is pushing himself back on the ropes at long on. Short. Want a quick single here. They'll get it easily. 3 deliveries remaining in over number 9. So the scoring rate had been picking up just a little bit. It is now down to 6.82. Earlier I said that par would probably be around 140. As of right now, the scoring rate of 6.82 and over puts you at about a projection of 136. Scoring rate of 8 and over gets you to 150. I would suspect that exactly how far you get or close you get to that 150 mark would depend on the freedom with which Harmeet Singh can play when he comes in. Looks to swipe this one away, Shubham Ranjane, and a play and a miss. Ujwal Vinakota now 4 deliveries bowled, conceded 11 runs so far. 5 from his first over, 6 so far in this over, with 2 balls still to come. And so watch Shubham Ranjane, just now getting started, faced 2 deliveries already, and he can be a very aggressive player. Along with Harmeet Singh, I think those 2 hold the key in putting up a total that is in excess of that 140 mark that I said earlier. Bowling generally hasn't been exactly accurate. They spray the ball around just a little bit, but what they have done is take key wickets at key times. And so 3 wickets down, and to the extent that you've gotten the wickets that you've needed to, you'll appreciate having had that happen. That's a full toss going down the leg side, and it's played to fine leg for a single. And so 1 ball remaining here in over. In fact, that's the end of the over. Yep, end of over number 9. 6 runs make that 7 runs coming from the over. At the end of over number 9, the score is 59 for 3. Naman Anwar back into the attack, his second over, a very successful first over. Started out expensively, 2 consecutive 4s, but then came back with 4 dot balls and 2 wickets. So he's done well from that standpoint. And what you're going to see here, I would think, is him continuing, not generally the type of bowler who's relied on to bowl 4, generally just used as sort of a change bowler, but you don't take the ball from a man who just took 2 wickets. Chaitanya Bishnoi, again, opened the batting, 20 from 23, and has the helmet off. Pay attention to that. Naman Anwar gets this one on off stump, played into the offside. You've seen a lot of work being done in that exact area by Nisarul Hakwadat. So a couple of singles to start over number 10. Again, talking about projections, the current scoring rate of 6.54 projects to 131. I think you'll want more than that. And that scoring rate just goes down a little bit more there with the dot ball bowled to Shubham Ranjane. Just 2 runs against his name, 6 balls faced. He may start feeling some pressure to start accelerating here. Quick single. Dangerous run, direct hit, and it ricochets away for additional runs. So the direct hit actually punishes St. Louis there. They're rewarded, or they're punished really, for accurate fielding. Umpire Vishnu Pillai convinced that Chaitanya Bishnoi was able to regain his ground, and so it was not run out. So watch this, the direct hit at the striker's end, and it disturbs the stumps, but of course it's still a live ball, so you get to run an additional run. So a couple of runs there, fortuitous. Next delivery pushes it through more quickly. Should be into the outfield. They may look for 2, no, just 1. And a good work, a good piece of work by the fielder at long off, coming across toward extra cover to get that one. One ball remaining before you get to the halfway stage of the innings. 5 runs from the over so far. And 64 runs on the board. I think you're going to want more runs than what you're projected to get right now. But again, for me, a whole lot changes when Harmeet Singh comes into bat. Last ball of over number 10. Played directly, took cover. No run there. And that is the end of over number 10. 64 runs on the board. Halfway through the innings, we'll be right back.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Ujwal Vinakota into his 3rd over now. 2 overs in the books for him. 12 runs conceded, so going exactly at the rate of a run a ball. And he'll be bowling to Shubham Ranjane, 5 from 8. So into the second half of the innings we go. Plays this one well, keeps it down. Kind of an awkward type of delivery, but does well enough to keep it down. And they'll get a single down to deep third. So, talking about projected scores, as I said earlier, this pair is very good, but the power hitting that comes afterward from Captain Harmeet Singh, I think, is something to pay attention to, because when he comes in, he is one who can clear the ropes with ease, and the strike rate that he plays with, probably you'd think he'd come in striking at about 150. There is a scoop shot that we were looking for. That's the one that he tried earlier on, Chaitanya Bishnoi. Doesn't go all the way for 4, gets a couple. And I'll tell you what, he's a brave man to play that shot after having been hit in the head from playing the same shot earlier. And the scoop shot is there for the taking, because you see that fine leg and deep or short third are inside the circle. Now the change is made. He's going around the wicket, Ujwal Vinakota. Now the reason why this scoop shot was successful, and I'll talk about that after this ball. Just played into the outfield for a single. So I started saying the reason why that one was successful as compared to the one that hit him was this is from a right-hander. And the right-hander, Ujwal Vinakota, is not really swinging it that much, but if it swings, it's swinging into the left-handed Chaitanya Bishnoi. So that makes it easier to play the scoop shot on the leg side. For an outswinger, the ball swinging away from you, playing a scoop shot essentially is extremely, extremely difficult, if not impossible. And I think that's why you saw him wear that ball off his helmet earlier. So a little bit of movement in the field. Last 3 balls coming up now in over number 11. Ujwal Vinakota bowling to Shubham Ranjane. Goes for the big hit, outside edge, and it is put down. Oh my goodness, he will want to have gotten that one. I think that's Nasir Jamali, and he's indicating that he may have lost that in the lights. In any event, boy, you're going to want to have taken that. It was essentially right to him, slower delivery, and it's lofted off the edge and right to him, and he puts it down. He's not going to want to see the replay of that one when he gets home. So Shubham Ranjane gets a life. And it is now Chaitanya Bishnoi on strike with 2 balls remaining here, bowling around the wicket to Chaitanya Bishnoi. Goes over the top of backward point. That may get to the boundary, and it gets there now. So he goes around the wicket, trying to dissuade him from playing that scoop shot, but the line was a little bit too far outside off. And Chaitanya Bishnoi has scored a few runs in that area. You'll see here on the line. Look how far outside off this ball is. Very wide, and even though it's coming back into him, it still gives him a lot of room to free his arms and go over the top of off. Last ball of the over. Swipe and a miss. Good comeback delivery, fuller and straighter. And that is the end of over number 11. An eventful one, includes a drop. Shubham Ranjan put down on 6. We'll see how far he gets. End of 11, the score is 73 for 3. $73 for 3, and it is Naman Anwar who's continuing. Played into the leg side here. Loads of room on the leg side. No one inside the circle except for Nasir Jamali at short, fine leg. Everyone else on the leg side expecting the big hits from the right-handed Shubham Ranjan. And now with the lefty on strike, there is more coverage brought in, and now alternately there's no one inside the circle on the leg side with the exception of fine leg. So similar field for both. That is in the air, catchable and taken. So big wicket there. Chaitanya Bishnoi looking to accelerate. Thought that he might start feeling some pressure to score quickly, but Naman Anwar picks up his 3rd wicket in his 3rd over. Really, really good bowling from Naman Anwar. See here, Chaitanya Bishnoi using the feet, didn't quite get to it, and it is judged relatively easily in the deep. Oh, the indication there is that it would have been lost in the sun, in the not the sun, but the floodlights, playing under lights here at Prairie View at Grand Prairie. So when you go back and forth between Grand Prairie and Prairie View, that's what happens. Anyway, so that is a wicket that ends that partnership. Partnership was put together. I thought it was starting to build and it was going to be dangerous, but it ended up petering out at 22. The second of 3 partnerships, or the second of the first 4 partnerships, that resulted in a score of exactly 22. So here is the matchup I referred to earlier. Harmeet Singh is at the crease. Harmeet Singh can change the game with a few strokes. The scoring rate is 6.53. He is the kind of player who can absolutely change things to where a strike rate of 150 or above is not unrealistic. And if you see, I mentioned the dimensions earlier. Here he will be hitting to the small side of the ground. So look for big hits from this side. Oh, going down the leg side. That's going to be signaled as a wide. So as a reminder, earlier I said that the one boundary on the eastern side of the ground is 65 yards. So to your left, that's 65 yards. So if he hits the ball on the onside, it would be to the shorter side of the ground. Coming back for the second run, boy, aggressive running. That was very aggressive. Didn't think that they'd be able to get 2 runs there, but I think Harmeet Singh wants to get back on strike because it is now the fact, with 3 balls remaining here in over number 12, the 3rd one being bowled by Naman Anwar, that Harmeet Singh, I think, is going to want to test these shorter boundaries. Next delivery. In the air, but past that fielder. Short extra cover. Goes down to long off for a single. So 2 deliveries here remaining in over number 12. Naman Anwar bowling a gem of a spell. 3 for 18 from his 2.4 overs. Now bowling to Shubham Ranjan, hammered away into the deep, sliding stop, excellent work in the deep. A comeback for 2, but he saved 2 runs there in the deep, no question. And good athletic work too. Good sliding stop across the turf, and that deserves an applause from the bowler, Naman Anwar. You see there saluting his teammate who's backing him up in the field. That is great work. Leave out there, that is Nisar Ulhakwadat. And flat batted back to the bowler himself. Good over, 7 runs coming from it, and another wicket. So Norman Anwar is doing what you did not expect him to do. I think you'd expect him to do more with the bat than with the ball, but he looks very good with the ball so far. Score at the end of 12 is 80 for 4. Mohamed Elias has bowled 1 over so far. Bowled over number 5, conceded 9 runs. Now coming back to bowl to Harmeet Singh. Now, if Harmeet Singh hits big on the left side of the screen, he'll be hitting to the big side of the ground. So pay attention to that. Tries to go working this around the leg side, but yet again, that is another wide. That is wide number 8 that has been bowled so far. So 81 runs on the board, and 8 of them are wide. So roughly 10% of your runs are coming in wides. That's not a good percentage as a bowling side. Essentially, you're giving away free runs and having to bowl extra balls. So 8 extra balls bowled so far, and 8 additional runs that should not have been scored. So that gives you a sense of how difficult the scoring has been otherwise. Played away, just a fumble in the outfield. I tell you what, it was played to backward point, not a clean pickup, and they run for a single. But they are taking their chances running on the infield. And if you've seen a couple of direct hits so far, so that's going to have to be, you're paying attention to the extent to which you can get those singles. And I think they're talking about that right now, because that was essentially hit the backward point and they ran a quick single. One of the oldest rules in cricket is don't run on a misfield. And my sense is if that had hit directly, that you may have seen the back of Shubham Ranjane. Back on strike though, 10 from 13. Here's Mohamed Elias again. Big inside edge, you could hear that from here. Loud appeal for leg before, but no way that would have been given. Again, we are probably 105 yards from the wicket, but you could hear the inside edge from here. And in any event, I think that would have been high anyway. So essentially a very ambitious appeal all the way around. 4 balls remaining in over number 13. 82 for 4. So the score at the end of 12 was 80 for 4. And if you go by that older rule that says double the score after 12 overs, that gives you what you should get to in terms of a target. 160 for me feels ultra aggressive. I don't know that they can get to 160. In order for them to get to 160 from here, they'd need to be scoring at the rate of about 10.5 and over. 10 and over from here gets you to 157. 11 and over gets you to 165. So it's not out of the realm of possibility. But they would have to go at almost 4 runs, and in fact more than 4 runs and over from where they're scoring now at the rate of 6.56. Mohamed Elias, 2 balls remaining. Full toss, whipped to wide mid-on. Should have scored, in fact, 3. That was 3 before that ball. So 2 balls remaining now. You want to think that he could have gotten more out of that ball than he did. Full toss on leg stump. Essentially, those are ones that you want to put away. So the scoring rate coming down, now down to 6.47. Mohamed Elias looking for the Yorker that time, bowling a low full toss, but it doesn't hurt him. 2 balls remaining here at over number 13. This is the second over being bowled by Mohamed Elias. And Shubham Ranjane, who's been there for a while, 10 from 15. Short delivery going down the leg side. Good sharp bouncer. It's going to be called a wide, and if I would not be mistaken, if this were not signaled, 1 for the over, and I didn't see the signal. I think the umpires are just indicating that there's just 2 balls remaining. So wide number 9 means that you're now scoring more than 10% of your runs in wides. 83 runs on the board and 9 wides. So that certainly would be an area that St. Louis Americans would want to address. Next delivery. Bang on target. Hits the bat hard. When he gets it right, he can be very difficult to score off of, Mohamed Elias. And so now you're down to the last ball in over number 12. Make that over number 13. Down to the last 43 balls of the innings. When do you try to hit the start button or the accelerate button? Because you have 6 wickets in hand. So you don't have a whole lot of wickets in hand. But the 2 at the crease, Shubham Ranjani and Harmeet Singh, you would think would be responsible for the majority of the runs the rest of the way. Worked into the leg side. No run there. And a good finish to the over, despite the couple of wides. Just 3 runs coming from the over. Second one from Mohamed Elias is a successful one. At the end of 13, the score is 83 for 4. So Norman Anwar is going to bowl out here. Bowled 4 on the trot. Over is 8, 10, 12, and now 14. Excellent figures so far. 3 for 20 from 3 overs. There's Harmeet Singh, and I said that that's what he would do, was target that short boundary, and really whether or not that was a short boundary would not have mattered. That has left the stadium. Clearing the boundary, clearing the seats, bouncing once on the terrace and out of the park. So that's what Harmeet Singh can do. Look at this, plants the front foot. Look at this replay. And hammers this one, a clean strike. Look where this ball lands. Could probably just see it. The first time it lands is beyond those blue seats. And we now have a delay because this ball has been put out of the stadium. So coming as advertised, Harmeet Singh. Again, I thought he'd be wanting to target the fence or the ropes from this end. That would have him hitting on the leg side to the shorter ground, to the shorter side of the field. But very frankly, regardless of whether he hit that from the southern end or the northern end, hitting into the big side or the small side, on any part of the field, that is 6. And so if you wanted me to estimate the distance, the rope out there is 65 yards. It cleared the rope, cleared the entire section of seats, so that would have to be at least an 85 to 90 yard hit. So big shot by Harmeet Singh, and starts out over number 14 very aggressively. So what type of response does Norman Anwar have here? Quicker, played through the offside, should get 2, and good pickup. Oh, he got there, held on to it, and then in an attempt to pull himself off of the ground, end up palming it over the ropes at backward point. I think they had 2 runs in any event, but not able to field it cleanly, and it goes away for 4. Look here. So he tried to throw it back, but in the attempt to save himself or to steady himself, he ends up palming it over the goalpost, as they say in soccer. As Nisar ul Hakwadat was not able to control that one. So 10 from the first 2. There should be 2 more. Played into the gap at deep mid-wicket, coming back for the second. Harmeet Singh. He saw that he was always going to be coming back for that second run because he won some of this last over from Norman Anwar. And Norman Anwar has bowled very well so far, taken 3 wickets, but he's been taken to the cleaners here in this over. 12 from the first 3 balls, 3 to come. Harmeet Singh knows that this is the last over to be bowled by Norman Anwar, and I think you'll see him trying to cash in on these last 3 balls. Next delivery. Oh, big wind up and a swing. They should just get one here. Oh, coming back for the second, and they'll get there easily. So more aggressive running by Harmeet Singh. That one did not go where he was looking. Had he connected with that one cleanly, it would have gone where the first ball of the over went, over the ropes, that deep mid-wicket. But they still come back for the second run. So 14 from the over so far with 2 balls to come. And he's absolutely swinging for the fences. And you know that the fielders know that that's what he's doing. There's a deep mid-wicket, there's a long on, there's a square leg, all ready for those big leg side shots. There he goes again, and that's 6 more. You hear the bang off of the ropes. Didn't go quite as far as the previous one, at least not from the one from the first ball, but still a clean strike that goes all the way for 6. 20 from the over so far. Here's a replay. Hammered, and it goes all the way. And Naman Anwar is actually bowling off spin. He can bowl off and leg spin. So in theory, you'd want him to be bowling off spin to the left-hander Harmeet Singh, but it doesn't matter. Anything that he connects with is flying off the bat. Here's the last ball, and he plays it into the offside. 21 runs coming from that over, and Harmeet Singh gets to keep strike. So big over, easily the biggest over of the inning so far. And the 100 comes up in that over. We missed that when it happened. The partnership now worth 30. Score after 14 is 104 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So Naman Anwar's figures look a little bit worse after that over. Before this over, he had bowled 3 overs, taken 3 wickets, and conceded 20 runs. But 21 big runs come off of that over. The last one bowled by Naman Anwar is the most expensive. So going into the last 6 overs here, and all of a sudden that projected score has shot up to 149. They're scoring at the rate of 7.43. And I said it a couple of times, not trying to pat myself on the back, but Harmeet Singh can be the difference between an ordinary score and a big score. In the air, big hit. How far does that go? All the way for 6. So the first ball of over number 15 goes for yet another 6. Harmeet Singh is on the charge. It is the captain, Abhimanyu Lamba, who's brought himself back in. Does not make a difference to Harmeet Singh. Plants the front foot and goes straight down the ground. Absolutely brilliant striking from the captain. Has raced along here, Harmeet Singh, to 25 from, make that 31 from 10 with 1, 4, and 3 big sixes. 110 runs on the board. Abhimanyu Lamba again. That is a bouncer that goes awry. That is going to be wide. That might have been given wide on line as well as on length. And unfortunately, he's going to have to re-bowl that. Tried to go pace off into the wickets, but didn't exactly come out the way he wanted to. Look where this ball ends up. Look at the replay. Short. No, in fact, that was not wide on line. Certainly wide on length. That bounce probably 8 feet in the air. And again, the guideline for the umpires is over the batter's head when he's standing in a normal standing position. Next deliver played into the leg side. Do they try to get 2 here? Coming back for the second. And the throw comes to the non-striker's end. Harmeet Singh is measuring these runs very carefully, and he alone has appeared to be capable of putting up the type of score that you think would challenge the St. Louis Americans. All of a sudden, Harmeet Singh, I said he was striking it at, he'd come in striking it at 150. Well, he's striking it at 300 right now. 33 from 11 balls faced, if you can believe that. And here is Lamba again. Short, hammered in the deep. Clean pickup this time. That is Nisarul Hakwadat. And for the first time in a very long time, Harmeet Singh has to be satisfied with a single. Oh, a flurry of runs all of a sudden. The last 5 overs have yielded 50 runs. But of those, 21 came in over number 14. And 10 already so far in over number 15 with 3 balls to come. So Shubham Ranjane, who is actually the junior partner, make that the senior partner, is standing and watching the show from the other end. He's now on strike. Oh, he was winding up for a big shot here. Gets a thick under edge, takes it to square leg. That brings Harmeet Singh back on strike. What does Harmeet Singh do here? This is, by the way, captain to captain. Abhimanyu Lamba to Harmeet Singh. And Abhimanyu Lamba is a very good bowler. Harmeet Singh is a very dangerous hitter. And I think you'll see both of them wanting to get the best of the other here. Partnership 41 already, just racing along to 41. Next delivery, short and pulled away into the deep, catchable. Oh, he put it down and it goes away for 4. It was catchable. It really probably should have been taken. And that's disappointment on the face of the fielder coming in from square leg, because all of a sudden he's conceded another boundary. There's a short ball. Harmeet pulls it well, but it was sinking as it got toward the fielder. But my sense is that he would have gotten there in time, and that really should have been taken. Boy, so a frenetic flurry of activities here all of a sudden. And in fact, that was a no ball. Did I miss that? Is a no ball and 4. So this next one is going to be a free hit. I missed it live. And looks like this is now going to be a free hit. We'll see what happens here. Runs are coming at a torrential rate. Next delivery. High in the air. It will land in no man's land. In fact, the bowler does not even try to catch it. Let's explain what just happened. That was a free hit. So even if he were to catch the ball, the batter would not have been out. So he essentially just makes the conservative decision to let the ball just land and concede that 1 run. So I don't mind that strategy at all. Maybe you can argue, you can try catching it just for practice, but it would not have made a difference. Last ball of over number 15. In the air, down the ground, and 6. So now Shubham Ranjane joins in the 6-hitting fun. Another big over. Now this one is the biggest over of the inning so far. 23 runs coming from it. Lofted down the ground by Shubham Ranjane for 6. He now moves up to 23 from 21 balls faced. Slower delivery, but it was in the slot. You see that on the replay. And cashing in is Shubham Ranjane. So that stroke brings up the 50 partnership. The score at the end of 15 overs is 127 for 4. Runs in the last couple of overs have come at a torrential rate. The partnership is now worth 53, and off that 53, 44 have been scored in the last 2 overs. Tremendous hitting by Harmeet Singh, and then Shubham Ranjane joining in the fun. Ujjwal Vinakota coming back for his last over, and he's bowling to a man who has every intention of hitting big. They settle for 1 here as this is worked into the deep. And bearing in mind, again, from this angle or from this end of the field, if Harmeet Singh is on strike, he's hitting to the smaller side of the field. So bear that in mind as you look here. This is now Shubham Ranjane who's on strike. Were he to pull the ball, in other words, as you look at the screen right now, if he were to hit to the left, he'd be hitting to the big side of the ground. That's 80 yards out there. The smaller side, There is a good representation. That is the 80-yard boundary if he were to hit in that direction, all the way to the left. But I would not be surprised if they were to bowl short here to try to convince him to hit in that direction. But they go instead. Oh, goes into the offside. Just a single. Fumbled in the deep. But I think Harmeet Singh is going to want some of this. This is the last over to be bowled by Ujjwal Vinakota. And he is now conceded 23 runs from his 3.2 overs. But again, Harmeet Singh is now hitting to the small side of the ground. And look at the lines that are being bowled here. If I were Ujjwal Vinakota, I would want to keep this ball well outside the line of off stump. If you go into his body, oh, big edge, and gone. Wow. Big wicket there. Harmeet Singh looks disappointed, but you could hear the edge from here. Wants to go through the leg side again, and this time the edge is found and easily snapped up by a wicket keeper. Munir Kakar, here you see in the replay, from around the wicket, again, wanting to hit to the small side. See where this ball ends up. Yeah, big outside edge, no question there on the deflection. Harmeet Singh, I think, is more disappointed than he is upset. What I mean by that is his reaction immediately made you think that he wanted to convince the umpire that he didn't play that. But ultimately, looking at that replay, that was a very thick edge where the keeper not there could potentially have gone to first slip had there been a first slip. Big partnership, 55-run partnership for the 5th wicket. So that's a successful partnership from that standpoint. Harmeet Singh did a lot of damage when he was there. 40 from 16, 2 4s and 3 6s. You might just be able to hear the applause for him by the few fans out there by the pavilion. 5 wickets down, 129 for 5. Right there in the middle of your screen, that is Ajay Jam, one of the more prominent servants of cricket in the U.S. Ajay Jam does tremendous work in the city of St. Louis for the sport of cricket. And if the last name Jam sounds familiar, it's because 2 of his sons are on this team, Arnav Jam and Adnit Jam. Arnav, 18 years old. Adnit Jam, we talked about him briefly earlier. He is 15. Both sons of Ajay Jam, and point of personal privilege, my son played with Arnav Jam several years ago, opened the batting together in a tournament in St. Louis. So that was good times. Feels like such a long time ago. But this over now being bowled. Ujjwal Vinakota looking to finish up here. Hammered away, but it's straight down to long on. And that is a single. That is maybe 1 ball remaining here in over number 16. So really successful over amidst all the carnage. Remember, the last 2 overs before this one went for 44 runs combined. But he's bowling an over here, Ujjwal Vinakota, that has only conceded 4 before this shot. It'll get a couple of runs here. An over that concedes 6 is a great over under the circumstances, especially with the 2 batters going the way that they were. End of over number 16. The score is 133 for 5. So down to the last 4 overs. Looking at the bowlers who have overs left, you would suspect that it would be Mohamed Ilyas, who is bowling now. You'd think that he would bowl over 17 and 19. He has 2 left. Then you'd think 18 and 20 would be bowled by Abhimanyu Lamba and Nasir Jamali. This is played into the covers, no run. Good start to the over for Mohamed Ilyas. So flurry of runs a couple of overs ago. Over number 14 went for 21 runs. Over number 15 went for 23 runs. But since then, the St. Louis Americans have punched back, if you will. 133 runs on the board. So still on target if they maintain the current strike rate. Still on target for 165. But you get the sense that that effort will be harmed with Harmeet Singh no longer there. That is pulled down the ground. That's going to be 4. He played it as though he was playing a conventional pull shot, but it actually went straight, and it was too straight for Long On to do much about it. So you'll accept that. Look at this. He gets into position to play a pull shot, but just essentially just flat bats it down the ground, Shubham Ranjani. And that is, you'll take them however you get them. That's not the prettiest of shots that you've ever seen in your life, but I don't think Shubham Ranjani will mind that very much. He now gets up to 23 from 24 down the leg side. Appealing for a caught behind. I think he was more trying to distract the umpire than anything else, because I'm sure that didn't touch anything. And in fact, Mohamed Ilyas, was the only one who was appealing. So very much could have just been trying to distract the umpire. 4 balls remaining. Look at this delivery on the replay. Going down the leg side, I think you'll find. Yeah, just going down the leg side. Nothing touched. Nobody else was appealing but the bowler. Just tried to distract umpire Vishnu Pillai. Next ball. In the air just for a little bit. Trickled into the offside. He'll get a single. Oh, wild throw there. Almost got away for a second run. No harm, no foul, as they say in basketball. Down to the last 3 balls in over number 17. So you're down to the last 21 balls in the innings. 139 runs on the board, scoring at the rate of 8.42 and over. So this projects to 168. 110 and over gets you to 174. 12 and over gets you to 181. Boy. And by the way, just looking at where things are now, you get the sense that Shubham Ranjan needs to be the one to take things from here and get more damage done. Cut away, past backward point. That's going to race away for 4. Gets to the boundary now. Proper cut shot. By the way, the new batter didn't announce him as Harish Kakani. He goes now to 7 from 3 balls faced. That's a good-looking cut shot. Past backward point. There's a replay. Good-looking shot. That ball is moving in too, so that's not the easiest cut shot to play to a ball that's moving in toward you, but stayed on top of it and helped himself to 4 runs. So good effort by this pair, looking to rebuild and gain some momentum towards the back end. Slower full toss, loopy full toss, doesn't get anything for it. And a precious dot ball, which means that Mohamed Ilyas, when he comes up and hits the deck hard, you don't expect that type of delivery. So this is a good change from him. Oh, looking at that delivery again. If you're expecting him to come up hitting the deck hard and getting that, bowling that hard length, that can be a difficult delivery to play. Down to the last ball here over number 17. Mohamed Ilyas is 3rd, just 1 ball remaining. 22 runs conceded from him already. Here's the last ball. Short ball. Oh, that actually hurt the batter. It's going to go away for 4. And I think these are going to be, no, it's off the glove. So it made a dull sound. And in fact, you see the batter there holding his shoulder. So maybe it was an inside edge off the bat onto his shoulder. But he certainly conceded 4 runs fortuitous 4 runs in the end because he didn't play it very well, and in fact he may now need to be looked at. Look at this replay. See where this ball hits. Because to me it sounded like it came off of his shoulder. And oh yeah, looking at that, he got himself into a really tricky position there. I think it came off the face of the bat onto his shoulder and went away for 4. So ultimately 14 runs come from that over, an expensive one. The score now goes all the way up to 147 for 5. Last 3 overs. This is going to be the last over bowled by Nasir Jamali. 3 overs, none for 13, so he's bowled very well. Hasn't taken any wickets, but I don't think he'll be looking for wickets here. He'll just be looking to limit the damage. Just played into the deep. Couple of runs you'd think for Shubham Ranjane, gets there easily. As that ball is fumbled in the outfield. So this partnership now starting to bear fruit. It is now worth 20. This pair came together in the 16th over. You're now into over number 18. Down to the last 17 balls in the innings. Shubham Ranjane, 24 from 25. Make that 26 from 27. In the air, down to fine leg, and 1 bounce goes away for 4. The short delivery bowled by Nasir Jamali. Not quite as quick as Mohamed Ilyas, so that ball afforded Shubham Ranjane with the time to get inside the line and force this away over fine leg. Here's the delivery. Short, and he climbs into it. Didn't bounce very high. Got up to about maybe chest height. You want that bouncer to be around face height. And he easily puts that one away for 4. So 6 from the first 2 balls. Slashed away for 4 more. Over the top of third. Short third is inside the circle. And so maybe a moral victory to Nasir Jamali because it definitely came off the edge. Shubham Ranjane looking to play that one toward mid-wicket. Comes off the outside edge, goes to third. And 3 consecutive scoring shots, 2 of which were boundaries. So 10 runs from the first 3 balls. And they are on a charge here, the Xforia Giants. 157 on the board. So even with the dismissal of Harmeet Singh, the last few overs have yielded a lot of runs. Short, top edge, in the air. Nobody's going to get there. And it goes all the way for 6. Genuine top edge, not necessarily in control, but nobody all the way down here at deep fine leg, and it sails over the ropes at deep fine leg. 6 more, so 16 coming from the last over so far from Nasir Jamali with 2 balls remaining. His first 3 overs went for 13. But you now see that there are 29 runs against his name. 16 from this over with 2 still to come. And Shubham Ranjane is taking him apart here. Shubham Ranjane now up to 40 from 29 with 3 4s and 2 6s. And he's looking for more. Quick single taken here. The bowler himself cleans up. It will be interesting to see if they're intentionally trying to keep Shubham Ranjane on strike, because he's now at the non-strikers, and I suspect that you'd want him on strike to start the next over, which will be the penultimate over of the innings, because he's set, been there for a while. Harish Kakani 11 from 5, so he's just now getting started. But you would think that you'd want Shubham Ranjane to be the one on strike. So maybe you're looking for an even number of runs from this last ball. Looks for the big swipe and a miss. It's going to be wide. So still 1 more to come here. Shubham Ranjane coming down to have a chat. I would suspect, and I'm only guessing obviously, but I think he'd be happy being on strike to start the next over. So you might think that he'd want to go for a big hit here, or if a dot ball is all that results, it wouldn't be the worst thing either, because again, an even number of runs keeps them on strike. That's worked into the deep. Do they look for two? They do look for two. Strong throw to the non-striker's end is not in time. They get 2 runs. I think that's exactly what they would have wanted. 20 runs come from over number 18. Another big one. Get this. 84 runs have come from the last 5. And with 2 overs to go, the score is 167 for 5. Mohamed Elias will be bowling his last over. There you see the graphic on the screen. Partnership worth 38. But what's important about that is that it's 38 from 15 balls. So you're striking it at a rate of well north of 200. So that's exactly the way that you want to close your innings. Mohamed Elias, 3 overs so far, 26 from 3. But look for Shubham Ranjani here. He will be hitting on the leg side to the short side of the ground. Pay attention to that. Hammered away into the deep, but it's a full enough ball that he cannot elevate underneath it, Shubham Ranjani. And so they'll get a single, but I think you'll absolutely take singles at this stage. If you're the St. Louis Americans, you have a pair at the wicket who is looking to build on their 39-run partnership. And I think you'll want to see that they, at the wicket, will want to cash in on anything that's loose. So Mohamed Elias is going to have to be very, very full, or if he misses his line, it's going to have to be wide, outside off. If he's too straight, then the batters will be hitting to the short side of the ground. Oh, that made a very loud sound, but I believe that came off the pad. There is a signal from umpire Vishnu Pillai. That is a leg by. First extra of the day, or the second extra of the day that was not a wide. There was 1 no ball and now a leg by. So 14 extras in all. A flurry of runs in the last few overs. So the Xforia Giants have accelerated very well towards the back end of this innings. Where you are now, you're down to the last 10. And the last 4 balls to be bowled here by Mohamed Elias. In the air, landing short of the fielder in the deep. And they just take 1 run. So 1 is okay. You'll absolutely take 1 run at this stage. Only 3 runs from the over so far. So it's a really good over on the way for Mohamed Elias. But again, he's bowling to 2 batters who are very, very motivated to try to take him apart. Harish Kakani 13 from 7 with 2 fours. Shubham Ranjani done the bulk of the damage in this partnership, 42 from 31, 3 fours and 2 sixes. This is Harish Kakani on strike. Slower delivery, that's well bowled, beautifully bowled. Again, when you're lining up and attempting to hit big off of a bowler who bowls as quickly as Mohamed Elias does, when he changes pace like that, the subtle variety, you don't see the action. His action is exactly the same, but the ball comes out at 60 miles an hour instead of 85 miles an hour. That makes it much more difficult to hit. And a precious dot ball, which means that he has only 2 balls remaining now in his spell, only 2 balls remaining in over number 19. I suspect that this is not going to be a slower delivery. This is going to be one of the quicker balls in the match, I would think. Let's see what happens here. Oh, there it is. Quick, full, straight, off stump, knocked back. What a beautiful piece of bowling by Mohamed Elias. So he's changed speeds And this is the quicker delivery. Full and straight. And look at this, absolutely knocked back the base of off stump. Absolutely full, right in the block hole. Not a lot that Harish Kakani could have done with that. And Mohamed Ilyas is bowling an absolute gem of a last over here, meaning his last over. This is the penultimate over of the inning. So he has one ball remaining. And then after that, you'll be at the last over of the innings. But this is a beautiful piece of bowling. 170 is the score now. But you've lost a big wicket here because you're now into the bowlers. This is Sankirth Batula, who is on strike, or is at the wicket. Sankirth Batula is one of the opening bowlers. You suspect that he'll open the bowling, but being asked now to do something different. He's being asked to, I would think, do what he can to remain at this end, because from this next delivery, you would want off the last ball for it really to be an even number of runs. So a dot ball would be perfectly fine here where they score no runs, because you want Shubham Ranjane, who is on 43 from 32, you want him to be taking strike to start the last over. Played down the ground. They ran a single anyway, so Sankirth Batula will remain on strike to start over number 20. Don't know that that's what they would have wanted, but then again, you can't turn down runs in any form of the game, at least not this one. But what a great last over bowl by Mohamed Ilyas. 4 runs come from it, and he takes a wicket. End of 19, the score is 171 for 6. Last over, and it will be bowled by the captain, Abhimanyu Lamba. 3 overs for him so far. Bowled overs 1 and 3. Went for 5 and 12 runs respectively. Then got taken apart in over number 15. 23 runs came from that over. He'll be looking to make up for things here. Bowling to Sankirth Batula, and I would think that objective number 1 here for Sankirth Batula is to get Shubham Ranjane back on strike. Abhimanyu Lamba again. 23 came from his 3rd over, so he'll be looking to make amends here. Oh, that didn't go where he was looking to get to play it, but he'll get 4 runs anyway. So Sankirth Batula says, I have a bat in my hand, I can score also. That did not go where he was looking to play. He was looking to play on the leg side. Thick top edge, takes it over short third and runs away down the hill for 4. An absolutely welcome 4 runs to start over number 20. And look at that score, all the way up to 175. So what I said about par earlier being 140, if you use my judgment as a yardstick, let's just say that they're well in excess of par. Smashed into the deep, that's to the big side of the ground. A long run, a sliding stop there, and a couple of bobbles in the outfield, but they will get 2. No, in fact, they settle for 1. That's not surprising, because that means that Shubham Ranjane, who has 43 runs against his name, is the one who will now be on strike. So the ball went far enough for them to get 2, but not surprising that they settled for 1, because you want your premier all-rounder who has the ball in hand to be the one to face these last 4 deliveries. Here we go. Short delivery in the air. That's going to land safely, and they'll come back for 2. They have to come back for 2, and they'll get there easily. Last 3 coming up. 7 from the over. Not a bad over by any stretch of the imagination. The one boundary that was hit so far was a top edge, a genuine top edge, and they've done well generally to accelerate, but I think this is a good over being bowled by Abhimanyu Lamba. Now, he absolutely has to close out strongly here, because any mistake to Shubham Ranjane, and he can clear the ropes. Short delivery, and it's played away. Where did that go? No, they'll just walk for for one run. No, they refuse the run, actually. And there's a signal from umpire Partha Patanaik that says that is the one short ball that you can bowl in this over. So no more bouncers can be allowed in this over, otherwise it would be signaled as a no ball. So you're going to now have to be on the fuller side, and knowing that you have to be on the fuller side, you would expect that Shubham Ranjane would clear the front leg and be looking to go somewhere between long on and mid wicket. Full toss, that doesn't go where he wants it to, but he gets 4 anyway. He absolutely wanted to go to square leg, thick inside edge, and it races down to deep fine leg for 4. So 11 from the last over with 1 ball to come. Look at this replay. Went full, had to go full, but it ended up being a full toss, and he helps himself to 4 runs. Last ball of the innings coming up. What an innings that has been so far for the Xforia Giants. 182 runs on the board. What do they get from this last ball? Partnership worth 12. And importantly, Shubham Ranjane up to 49. Can he get to his 50 off this last ball? Hammered away for 6, and he gets the 50 in style. Oh, that is the long side of the ground. It does not matter. That ball goes 95 yards. The first time it lands is on the landing. Shubham Ranjane closes things out with a big 6 to the largest side of the ground. The score shoots up to 188. Shubham Ranjane ends up 55 from 36, 4 4s and 3 6s. And all of a sudden, the Xforia Giants, absolutely with their foot to the pedal, 188 for 6 is where they end up. So look at this scorecard. Gaurav Bajaj, 11 from 11. Chaitanya Bishnoi, 28 from 30. Akarshit Gomel, 21 from 14. Naushad Sheikh did not trouble the scorers, but then the big scores toward the back end. Shubham Ranjane, 55 from 36. Harmeet Singh, 40 from 16. Huge innings. Harish Kakani adding a few at the end along with Sankirth Batula. He played an important innings. And with 14 extras, your final score is 188. A short break coming up here in the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium, and the St. Louis Americans will have their work cut out for them trying to overhaul a target of 189. We'll go silent from here, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. And deep third. Short ball, cut away over the top. That might have the legs to get to the boundary. So the first 4 of the day, not the best of deliveries from Abhimanyu Lamba. Slashed away over the top, running away fine. Deep third cannot get there in time, and that's a boundary. Staying over the wicket, short, and he gives him another loose delivery. Boy, he's going to have to fix those balls because he's giving him room outside of off and very short, and who they want to run against. Looking to work this one away. Loud appeal, begging and given. Oh, then here's the last ball. Great delivery. Appeal for a catch. And is it going to be given? Not going to be given. He's bowling. Karshik Gomel plays this away beautifully. That's going to race away. It's the long side of the field, but it doesn't make any difference. Beautiful. 35-140. Slapped away for 4 more. Now this one had more anger, and he absolutely lays into this one. It goes about in the same direction. It takes for you to get here. Oh my goodness, he tries a scoop shot and wears the cricket ball off of his helmet. And he had the ball following him. Oh my goodness. So Nasir Jamali loses his footing in his delivery. You know him more as an aggressive opening batter, major league player. This first delivery should have been 1 run. It's played right down the ground, and that ball crossing the ropes. Hammered away into the deep. That's going to be 4 more. Karshit Gomel is on the charge. W. Quicker this time. Oh, he chopped on the quicker delivery. That does the trick. 2 consecutive fours to start this over. In the air. Oh, what a catch. Beautiful catch taken at short cover. Extended fully up and to his left. The game with the bat or the ball. Oh, hammered away for 4. A diving attempt at mid-wicket. Naman Anwar almost got about 150. There is a scoop shot that we were looking for. That's the one that he tried earlier on, Chetene Bishnoi. Doesn't go all the way for 4. Gets a couple of fine legs. So similar field for both. That is in the air, catchable, and taken. So big wicket there. 3 for 20 from 3 overs. There's Harmeet Singh, and I said that that's what he would do, was target that short boundary, and really whether or not that was a short boundary would not have. Quicker, played through the offside, should get 2, and good pickup. Oh, he got there, held on to it. Those big leg side shots. There he goes again, and that's 6 more. You hear the bang off of the ropes. Didn't go quite a big score. In the air, big hit. How far does that go? All the way for 6. So the 1. Next delivery. Short and pulled away into the deep, catchable. Oh, he put it down and it goes away for 4. Number 15. In the air, down the ground, and 6. Well outside the line of off stump. If you go into his body, oh, big edge. And gone. Wow. Harmed with Harmeet Singh no longer there. That is pulled down the ground. That's going to be 4. He played it as though he was playing it. More damage done. Cut away, past backward point. That's going to race away for 4. Gets to the boundary now. From him already. Here's the last ball. Short ball. Oh, that actually hurt the batter. It's going to go away for 4 balls. Slashed away for 4 more. Over the top of third. Short third is inside the circle. And so a lot of runs. Short, top edge, in the air. Nobody's going to get there. And it goes all the way for 6. Oh, there it is. Quick, full, straight. To make amends here. Oh, that didn't go where he was looking to get to play it, but he'll get 4 runs anyway. And mid-wicket. Full toss. That doesn't go where he wants it to, but he gets 4 anyway. This last ball. Hammered away for 6, and he gets the 15 style. Oh, that is the long side of the ground. It does not matter. That ball goes 95 yards. The first.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Welcome back to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. The St. Louis Americans have a steep chase ahead of them. 189 runs needed in the next 120 balls. Needing to score at the rate of 9.45 and over. Quick look at your scorecard, the big numbers there. Shubham Ranjan at 55 from 36 and Harmeet Singh 40 from 16. Those were your chief destroyers in getting to a pretty intimidating total. And it will now be up to the Dallas Xforia Giants, starting with Praneeth Raj to withdraw, to hold the St. Louis Cardinals, the St. Louis Americans, to a score of less than 189. So Praneeth Raj, domestic player, 26 years old, and he'll be bowling to Norman Anwar. Norman Anwar, I spoke about him earlier. You saw him with the ball, but he's more known for his destructive nature at the top of the order with the bat. Off and running here, the first ball to Norman Anwar. Played through the offside, that's going to run away close to the boundary. It's the long side, and it's going to keep the fielder interested for a while, but it runs away for 4. So Norman Anwar has signaled his intent. Praneeth Raj starting with a ball just a touch too wide, and it runs away for 4. By the way, the non-striker is Arnav Jam. Arnav Jam batting with Norman Anwar. Arnav Jam has come a long way from opening the batting with one Jaden Walters. That would have been my son, and that would have been in 2015 in St. Louis. Let's just say he's moved on from that. Now opening the batting in a minor league match. And I think that you'll see there, you see on the replay, just a little bit too wide. And Norman Anwar is not going to miss out on those. So here's second delivery. Top edge, and it's going to fly away fine. Deep third is in position, and they'll get 2 more runs here. So when you're chasing a high total, it can be very liberating in that you know that you have to go hard from ball 1. And so there's no necessarily judging how you're going to go about constructing the innings. Your one job is to put bat to ball. And in many ways that can be very liberating because you know nothing but going hard will work. Played through the offside. This time it's fielded at point, no run. By the way, the keeper, middle of your screen, number 10 right there, from right here in the Dallas area. One of the better glove men that you will see anywhere in cricket in this country, Arjun Mahesh. A young man, talked about earlier about how there is an effort to include youngsters in the side. Arjun Mahesh is 17 years old, but I tell you what, doesn't matter if he's 17 or 27. He's the best glove man in this game, and in all likelihood, one of the best, or for me, one of the top 5 in the country. Played into the offside. So a couple of dot balls since that boundary. So since the boundary and the double to start the over. So Praneeth Raj has made the adjustment. The first one was a little too wide. The second one was a little too short, but ever since then he's found the line and the length that, if not keep Norman Anwar completely quiet, at least stop him from hitting boundaries. Oh, goes for the big swipe. This is a little bit closer to him. Goes past the outside edge. So great bowling here. 3 straight dot balls after 6 runs from the first 2 balls. And all of a sudden, it is the kind of total that you're chasing, that a few dot balls in a row will start building pressure. And so what happens on this last ball here? Norman Anwar generally is not the kind to step out. He's not generally looking to charge the bowler. And interestingly, they've now brought in deep third inside the rope and drop backward point toward the boundary. So still 2 outside the circle, deep backward square leg and deep point. So look for something wideish and shortish. Play through the offside. That's going to race away for 4. A very similar shot to the first ball. He runs away for 4. So he cashes in on the last ball. I'll tell you what, they need to score 9.5 and over. That first over went for 10. So they'll need to maintain that rate. But they're off to a good start here. 1 over in the books, 10 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So you saw what he did with the bat in his hand earlier on. Shubham Ranjane, 55 from 36, 4 4s and 3 6s. He's now going to come right back and open the bowling, coming from the 30 end. Bowling to young Arnav Jam. Regulation field, there's a deep fine leg and a deep third, so you're expecting the type of bowling that you'd get from your opening bowler. Short of length. Oh, goes past the outside edge here. About that length is what you would expect given this field. And you don't expect anything too short because you're open, you have room square. Or there's room square, in other words, there's no fielders out there. But you don't expect anything to be drivable either. So it's going to be that in-between length that asks Arnav Jam to come forward and play exactly like that. They get a single here, so he's off the mark. Always a good feeling to get something beside your name other than a 0. Shubham Ranjane, brilliant all-rounder. As I said, he plays in the major leagues and has made a good account for himself in cricket in this country for a very long time. And here he's going to be asked essentially just to keep the opposition quiet, just as long as they don't get off to a flyer. And particularly, I want to see how he does against Norman Anwar, who is also a major leaguer. Spoke about that before and is known more, as well as he did with the ball today, known more for his exploits with the bat. Played into the offside. Good start here by Shubham Ranjane. 1 run from the first 3 balls. And not surprising that he's done as well as he has, because he has the ability to get the ball in the right areas. He's not necessarily lightning fast. There's other bowlers who will be quicker than him. But as an all-rounder, he plays a very important role. Can bowl in the power play, can bowl at the death. Generally is very difficult to score off of. Looks for the slash through the offside. Does not make contact. All of a sudden, pressure again starts building. When you are chasing a total that is in the range that this target is, again, the range, they need another 178 in the next 110 balls. So you're needing to score at the rate of almost 10 and over from here. When you are chasing a total that is in that range, a few dot balls in a row, and that starts building pressure. Wrapped on the pad, no run there. Half-hearted appeal. I don't think that was any legitimate shout. And had that been an actual shout, I think that's clearly bouncing over the top. He was looking to play this on the leg side, and it was actually in the air when he played the shot. So I think that's missing everything. But importantly, 1 run has scored from 5 balls. So this is great pressure being built by Shubham Ranjane. And it is now going to be the last ball of over number 2. Played in the offside. There's coverage down there, deep third. What a great over. And the pressure is well and truly being built now. 2 runs coming from over number 2. The score is 12 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Change in bowling. You saw him feature briefly with the bat for just a little bit in the first innings. Sankirth Batula now doing what you expect him to do with the ball in hand. Usually opens the bowling, this time bowling first change, but it's still a relatively new ball, so effectively he's still opening the bowling. Goes by outside the line of off stump, a little bit too wide, he'll have to re-bowl that. Sankirth Batula, been around for a while. He's a domestic player. I think he's done very well in the role that he's been asked to play for this team. Again, opens the bowling typically and gets that ball in the right areas. We'll go through some of his stats after this ball. Okay, big, loud yell. So in 6 matches in last season, 14 overs, 109 runs conceded, economy rate of 7.8. So that's not a bad economy rate when you're bowling primarily within the power play. So keeping the runners to 8 and over is not bad. In the air down the ground, that's going to run away for 4. Good looking shot from Naman Anwar. Got a little too close to him. With this field set, you want to be short of driving length. Got this one just a touch too full, Sankirth Batula, and it struck down the ground. I think you'll see this will be landing right in the slot. And at that length, that's going to go away for runs. If you're bowling to somebody like Naman Anwar, you're going to have to pull that length back just a little bit. And I think you'll see him make the adjustment because for the most part, he's a very good bowler. In the air, it's going to clear the fielder, is it? Yes, Harmeet Singh, very athletic across the ground, but can't get there in time. Inducing a false shot that time. I think he was looking to play that away on the leg side. And Naman Anwar gets this one off the outside edge of the bat. Skied in the air, but they'll run through for a single. That will not hurt. I think that you'll see here that you'll take runs any way that you can get them. Now Arnav Jam on strike. I think that you'll see the field come in here. They're looking to keep Arnav Jam on strike and keep Naman Anwar off of strike. Everyone inside the circle with the exception of long on and long out, short third and deep backward square leg. Of course, you're still inside the power play, so that's that's sort of the feel that you have to have, given that you have those 2 fielders in the deep, only 2 allowed outside at this stage. So looking for another 2 deliveries here in this over number 3. Sankirth Batula, 6 runs conceded in his first over so far. So 1 loose delivery was a little too full, punished by Naman Anwar. But all the other deliveries have essentially been where he's wanted them. Here's the next ball. Looking to slash this one away. Arnav Jam not able to get bat on it. And with 1 ball remaining, the pressure is definitely building because where you are now, your scoring rate is 6.35. Under ordinary circumstances, 6.35 inside the power play is not necessarily a bad thing. But if you're needing to score 10 and over, then that builds pressure. This is played into the offside, yet another dot ball, And the pressure continues to build. The scoring rate now exactly 6. 3 runs or 3 overs and 18 runs completed. And the scoring rate required is 10.06. Falling behind here, the St. Louis Americans. 18 without loss after 3. Shubham Ranjane again bowling now to Naman Anwar. Hammered away in the deep. Protection out there though. Good work. Wanted to come back for a second. Wasn't there. They had the field set perfectly for that shot. And it was played with authority. But right to that sweeper in the deep. At deep point. And that is precision in the field. Because at this stage, you're again needing to have only 2 inside the power play, inside the circle during the power play overs, and so to locate that man with that precision at deep backward square or deep backward point tells you that you've done your homework, because that shot went exactly to that field. And now a more conventional looking field, deep third and backward square leg, goes past Arnav Jam again. Arnav Jam now faced 6 balls. 1 run to his name, so he's off the mark. But I think he'll want to rotate the strike, and I think that quick conversation right there with Naman Anwar probably is something along the lines of, you don't need to try to hit the cover off of the ball. Just look to place the ball in the gaps and get singles. Now, the fielders on the inside of the circle know that he wants singles, so they're in off of the edge of the circle looking to cut down on the singles. Goes past the outside edge yet again. And you're hearing the chatter around the ground, which tells you that that pressure is starting to build a little bit on Arnav Jam. 7 balls faced and still only 1 run to his name. And you would think that at this stage the priority would be essentially to try to get in line and just tap the ball into the onside. Hopefully there's plenty of room right there in front of square leg. Looking for the big strike again, going past the outside edge again. Yet another dot ball. So a few dot balls being eaten up here. 170 runs needed in the next 98 balls. So the required rate is absolutely climbing at this stage. And now they're bringing in fine leg and now dropping back square leg halfway to that big 80-yard boundary. So pressure certainly starting to build here on young Arnav Jam. That's what I thought they could have done a long time ago, and now he eventually does it. Gets a single down to backward square leg, and that's good work. Good rotation of the strike. I think he'll want to do a little bit more of that. Going now into the last ball of the over number 4, where you're looking to see how Naman Anwar can cash in from this last ball. 2 runs from the over so far, and you're looking to see how you can make something happen that gets you in the direction of overhauling this gigantic total. Again, target 189, and all around the field they appear to be moving into position to stop the single. They want Arnav Jam to be on strike to start over number 5. Here's the last ball of over number 4. What a great ball. Goes past the outside edge. That moved away like a leg break, going past the outside edge of Naman Anwar, and a brilliant over comes to an end, bowled here by Shubham Ranjane. Look at this delivery. Pitch and then leave. Naman Anwar, look at this. Here, absolutely unplayable ball. Great delivery. And that is the end of 4. 20 without losses, your score.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Sankirth Batula back to bowl his second over number 5. More of the same, big swipe and a miss. And Arnav Jam again opening the batting with the experienced Norman Anwar. I said earlier that when you're facing such a big total, it can be liberating to know that your only choice is to go after the bowling. I think going after the bowling can be interpreted a number of different ways. What I mean is that essentially you need to be rotating the strike and scoring runs, and if you are not able to get bat to ball, it is important when you're going for the big shots, it's important to at least be able to make contact in such a way that allows your partner to get on strike. And I suspect that's some of what is being told to him right now by Norman Anwar. Arnav Jam, 18 years old, and again, one of the young brigade, one of the two U21 players in the side, along with his brother Adnit. And the role here would just be to get bat to ball. 3 consecutive waves and misses. And now the pressure absolutely starting to build. It's not too early to start looking at the difference between the required rate and the actual rate. The actual rate is 4.44. You see that there at the bottom of your screen. And then to the left of that graphic, you see the required rate, 10.9. So Arnav Jam, this one going down the leg side. What a great stop. Diving stop there. Mentioned how good a glove man he is. Arjun Mahesh does not miss out on very many and does well there. Look, you see, quick look at the Manhattan. The blue buildings are much, much taller than the red buildings, and that's not even accounting for the height of the blue buildings toward the right side of that graphic. And that gives you a representation of the worm. A lot of room to go. Top edge this time, and it goes in the air and it's taken. So Arnav Jam's innings comes to an end. Going for the runs, again, you have no choice but to go for it when you're needing to go at 11 runs and over. And that's a good catch running back from short third. A fielder going back, not easy to take a ball run or catch running, looking back over your shoulder. And look how he does this here. Flying back, he was actually at slip, running back from slip and does well enough to get there. Good clean catch taken in the deep. That is a Karshit Gomel. Pretty easy catch for him. He has a good pair of hands. And that is the end of Arnav Jam. He'll have better days with the bat than he did today. He's a great young cricketer. But as of now, he has been dismissed, and it means that there's going to be a new batter to take his place to join Norman Anwar. The job is not going to be easy. And you're chasing 10.96 and over after that dismissal. And by the way, that is the first wicket obtained here by Sankirth Batula. Opening partnership worth 21 runs. And I think you'll see that the urgency will continue to be there, because the score that is required will continue to climb. By the way, your new batter is at the crease. It's Zahid Zakil. Zahid Zakil is a left-hander, and he'll be facing up to Sankirth Batula, who has 2 balls remaining in his innings. So lefty and a righty batting together. That always poses trouble for the fielding side, if for no other reason than the fact that you have to constantly change the field, because of course there's usually more people on the offside than the leg side for a left-hander, and for either right or left-hander. So for each odd number of runs that's taken, the field essentially has to be switched. So the first wicket down, 2 balls remaining. Here's Sankirth Batula. First ball to Zahid Zakil, looks to slash this one away. Can't get anything on it, but it is too wide for the liking of umpire Vishnu Pillai. Yet another wide, believe it or not. 2 wides, make that 3 wides already. So 3 wides in 22 runs means that 13% of their runs are being scored in wide. So they're getting a little bit of help from the bowlers, but still looking uphill at a pretty steep climb here. Still 2 legal deliveries to go here in over number 5. Worked into the leg side. That's a pretty easy single. So he gets off the mark here, Zahid Zakil. And once again, the last ball of the over will be faced by Nauman Anwar, who will have to feel that it is going to have to be time for him to start expressing himself. 17 from 15 with 3 fours. But he has to do a whole lot more than that, because it's now at the stage where the required rate is just short of 11 and climbing. Last ball. Played away into the offside. There is a fielder in the deep. That is Chaitanya Bishnoi. That's the single down to deep backward point. 4 runs coming from the over and the wicket. So good one from Sankirth Batula. He's done well here. 5 overs in the books. The score is 24 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Quick look at your worm chart. For you to compete in this game, that red worm needs to be keeping track or keeping pace with the blue worm. You can see there that the red worm is starting to flatten off while the blue worm keeps going up. And different representation up the over by over there. You see the Manhattan. The blue buildings are much taller than the red buildings. So you're falling behind tremendously and a lot of work to do. Shubham Ranjane to continue. Bowled 2 good overs so far. In fact, no, change in bowling. This is going to be Harish Kakani. Good delivery, goes past the outside edge. Harish Kakani now bowling the last over of the power play. Right arm over the wicket, similar bowler to Shubham Ranjane. So you don't anticipate him to be very quick, but you expect him to keep it, as they say, there or thereabouts. And a good start. Very full. Stroked right back to the bowler. What a brilliant piece of fielding to his own bowling. Ends up being a spectator catch. In other words, looking at it live from far away, you might have thought that it came directly off the bat and was caught, but it was actually off the ground. So good piece of fielding. Couple of dot balls to start. 4 more balls, then you'll be out of the power play, and that will make things even that much more difficult for the St. Louis Americans, because as of now, that run rate is now up to 11.25, meaning the required rate. Here's the next delivery. Great ball again, going yet again past the outside edge, and with each dot ball, the yelling in the field gets louder. And the required rate climbs even more. You now need 165 runs in the next 87 balls. And it is absolutely doable, but it is becoming increasingly more difficult. And the Xforia Giants have a brilliant bowling attack. Their spinners especially are very good. 2 left-arm orthodox spinners. Captain Harmeet Singh and Chaitanya Bishnoi. I suspect you'll see a lot of them. This is going to run away for 4. He didn't necessarily mean it to go that fine, but he'll take those runs. And that is a brilliant response. The aggressive intent, I think, is what did it there. Wanted to play that squarer and a thick inside edge, so it takes it to fine leg, but you'll take those runs now, Anwar. He now moves up to 22 from 20. And it almost feels like he's fighting a lone battle here. Another 161 runs to get. St. Louis Americans would have to think that as long as he stays there, there would be a chance to get to the runs that you need. Partnership only worth 7. It's plodding along here, and Shubham and Harsh Kakani looking to keep going. That's clipped away into the deep. A lot of work for Chaitanya Bishnoi. Good work coming back for the second, not there. That is great work in the deep by Chaitanya Bishnoi. I figured you'd see him with the ball later on, possibly as soon as the next over, because just one ball is remaining in the power play, and you can go to your spinners outside of the power play. That's what Harmeet Singh generally does. I think that you'll see that things are continually getting more and more difficult. So, one ball remaining inside the power play. 5 runs from. And this essentially is the section of the innings where you'd expect for them to get off to a fast start. They've not been able to do that. Here's the last ball. That didn't go where he was looking to get it, but it goes fine, and it goes away for 4. So looking to play this one towards square leg. The top edge takes it over short third, and a bonus 4 runs as the fielder running around from deep third. Prathamesh Power not able to get around in time. So you'll take the bonus runs any way you can get them. Here you see on the replay, diving attempt there by Prathamesh Power, not able to get to it. 9 runs coming from the over. A couple of fortuitous boundaries. 23 come from the last 5. At the end of the power play, the score is 33 for 1. So Praneeth Raj opened the bowling. He'll come back on here to bowl over number 7. You're now outside of the power play. Long on and long off in position. Square leg and deep cover and deep third. So those are your 5 outside. Have to have 4 inside. And this, you get the sense things will be a little bit more difficult now. Great ball. Things are certainly going to be more difficult with the protection in the deep, and it really necessitates you putting bat to ball. Looking at a few stats here, I think it's interesting that one delivery into over number 7, there have been 21 dot balls faced. So 21 dot balls in 6 overs and 1 ball means that 60% of the deliveries that you have faced have been dots. In other words, a ball that you don't score off of is called a dot ball. And when you're chasing such a big total, that's the opposite of the way to go about it. Played into the offside, single there. Fires to the non-striker's end. Not going to be in time, so they get a single. But it's gotten to the point now where it feels like only one team will win this. What you're going to have to do from the St. Louis American standpoint is to do something to change the conversation. Maybe you have a big over where you get about 15, 16 runs and then force the Xforia Giants to do something different. As of right now, essentially they're having their way with the batting side, and they're eating up a lot of dot balls. And at this stage, when you, even without dot balls, the required rate goes up when you score singles, because obviously when you're chasing a score that requires you to score more than a run a ball, when you get a run off of 1 ball, that makes the required rate increase, now up to 11.34. So a long way to go. You're almost at the stage where you're needing 2 runs a ball for the next 82 balls. That's very, very hard. And it's now going to be up to Zahid Zakil and Norman Anwar to do something very, very special. It's to the point now where you need to start putting bat to ball. Hammered away over the top. That's very special. That goes for 6. Oh my goodness, he absolutely drills that over extra cover. That is not an easy shot to play. And he absolutely hammers this. Clears the front leg. Looking at the replay here, look at him clear the front leg and just go over the top, advancing down the track at the same time and going over extra cover. I mentioned that he has to do something to change the conversation. Well, that would have got the attention of the bowling side, because things are not going to be very easy And it's going to be up to you to make things happen. And that's a good way of showing intent. Here's the next delivery. Whipped away, fine. That's going to be 4 more. So a 6 and then a 4. Maybe this is the acceleration that we were looking for. I said earlier, have an over where you score about 14 runs. Well, 11 have come from this over already with 2 balls to come. And it's getting you to the point now where, yes, you have a very steep hill to climb. But if you start essentially throwing punches yourself and giving the bowling side something to have to change, then it can just start putting things in the direction of your favor, if you will. In other words, it's to the point now where you've had the fielders stop chirping as much as they were, giving them something to think about. Quick single there. And just for a split second, you thought he might try to shy at the non-striker's end, but he concedes a single. Last ball coming up now, and this is not the first time that the last ball of the over will be faced by Norman Anwar. 24 from 23 with 4 fours. How much of it depends on him? Partnership now worth 24. So already bigger than the first wicket partnership of 21. And this pair, you get the sense that they would have a lot to do with what happens from here. So going into the last ball here, you're out of the power play. 12 runs have come from over number 7. And Praneeth Raj bowling his second over, but been a little bit expensive here. Here's the last ball. Hammered. Oh, I tell you what, that would have been the most special return catch had he been able to hold on to it. He'll get a single. Effectively what he does is save 3 runs because that was headed straight down the ground. He got a hand up in time, didn't take the catch. It would have been a spectacular catch. Look at this. It would have been an absolutely spectacular catch. And he just did get the left hand up in time. So a single down the ground closes things out in over number 7. 13 come from the over. At the end of 7, the score is 46 for 1. Seven overs in the books. St. Louis Americans in pursuit of 189 are 46 for 1. This is Naushad Sheikh, who's coming into the attack. Right arm orthodox. And I had mentioned the 2 left arm orthodox bowlers, Harmeet Singh, the captain, and Chaitanya Bishnoi, and neither one has bowled yet. I suspect that you will get a heavy dose of left arm spin in the next over. Maybe the reason why you've not yet brought on the left arm spinners is because of Zahid Zakil, who is a left-handed power hitter. In the air, deep, and 6. And so that is what I'm referring to. He's a power-hitting left-hander. He clears the rope with ease. And again, that's the shorter side of the ground. The boundary up there is 65 yards, and that clears not just the boundary, but the entire stadium. It is now out of the stadium. A ball is lost, and third umpire Karthik Nachimutu is coming on with the replacement balls. But as I started to say, the reason why, possibly why you've not yet seen the left arm orthodox spin is because with that spin turning into the left-handed batters, or the left-handed batter, that will aid that type of shot. So he hit that ball right arm orthodox, so it was slightly turning away from him, but he still hit it out of the stadium. That shot becomes much easier to play when you're facing a left-handed spinner. So you may see the longer that Zahid Zakil stays at the wicket, that the longer this team is introduced, or the spinners take to introduce left arm spin into the attack. At least you'd have a hard time seeing them bringing them on from this end, because from this end, Zahid Zakil is hitting to the deep or to the short side of the field, and he can cause the most damage from here. Quicker through the air, hammered away for 6 more. So consecutive sixes to start over number 8. Maybe not to start. A single came off the first ball, but then 2 delivers after that and 2 straight sixes. And once again, you have nothing to lose here but to go for it. And looking at that replay, he walked across his stumps to access that ball from outside off. That's a better length. And that's a good stop, Chetene Bishnoi. The ball could have run away down the hill. They'll get a single here. So, tell you what, 14 runs from the over already with 2 balls to come. So 13 from the last over and 14 already in this over. So you're actually keeping up with the required rate. The required rate was threatening to be 12 a couple of overs ago. It's now down to 10.46. That's hammered down the ground for 4 more. 18 from the over already. And so this is starting to feel like this partnership is going to have a whole lot to do with what happens in this match. There you see that replay, the ball drilled straight as an arrow down the ground. Umpire Partha Patanaik having to take evasive action. Next delivery. Hammered into the big side and catchable and taken. Big wicket there. That is the big side of the ground. And it is Naman Anwar who is going big, but he cannot beat the man with the golden hands in the field, Akarshit Gomel. And he does well enough here. The ball was sinking as it got to him. And there you see on the replay going down and taking that one probably ankle height. And the reaction from Akarshit Gomel tells you all that you need to know. That is the last ball of over number 8. A big wicket. 18 runs come from it, but they take a wicket. That is the end of Naman Anwar. End of over number 8. The score is 64 for 2. So 64 for 2. A big wicket has fallen, and that is the end of Naman Anwar. He did well, 30 from 27 with 5 fours, but his dismissal opens things up a little bit. And I mentioned that I did not expect to see the spinner or the left arm spinners from the northern end of the ground, where they would have the lefty hitting into the short side. But Harmeet Singh is now on, and he's bowling to Zahid Zakil, 29 from 8, but importantly, his leg side to the left of your screen is the big side of the ground. So see what happens from here. Good length, very full, not allowing him to get underneath that ball. And this matchup, you get the sense, is going to have a lot to do with what happens the rest of the way, because he's cutting the angle down, bowling around the wicket, so it makes it difficult to score. And in fact, quick single taken here. Sankirth Batula at short extra cover. Now, this is interesting. It's going to be Angad Singh, and he is going to be hitting if he's able to get the ball elevated to the short side of the field. But for him to do that, he would be hitting against the spin. So it's an interesting matchup. We'll see exactly how he's able to manufacture something here of Harmeet Singh, who is not easy to score off of. Oh, what happens here? Goes past the outside edge. That's a dot. Precious dot ball, and that means that the pressure is starting to build again. Couple of big overs, but all of a sudden, Xforia Giants have pulled things back. Played down the ground. That's just a single. So 2 balls remaining in over number 9. This becomes more and more difficult. 66 runs on the board, so you need another 123 in the next 6 to 8 balls, needing to score them at the rate of 10.85 and over. Essentially 11 and over is what you need from here. And Harmeet Singh bowling is not going to be easier. Sweep shot being, oh, he's going to go. He's looking to sweep this down the leg side, and it is trapped in front. Umpire Vishnu Pillai taking a look and then deciding that this is clattering into the stumps around the wicket. So he would have had to consider whether or not this is pitching outside the line of leg stump. Oh, for me, that is plumb. That is on the toe in front of middle and off. So even though he's bowling around the wicket, it's a full enough delivery that it's not pitching outside the line of leg stump. And that, for me, opens things up tremendously for the Xforia Giants because of the fact that they've now lost the power-hitting left-hander, Zahid Zakil. It does mean that you can unleash your left-arm spinners. Harmeet Singh is bowling 1. He still has 3 overs left. He's already taken a wicket. I would not be surprised to see the change immediately where Chaitanya Bishnoi will be the next bowler coming from the theater and the northern end of the ground, because now essentially you're bowling to right-handers, and that makes it that much more difficult. Now, the new batter coming in is going to be Wadat. Nisar ul Haq Wadat is your new batter, right-handed, so he's going to be facing up to the left arm spin of Harmeet Singh. This is the last ball of over number 9. It is a dot, a successful over from the captain, bringing himself on, breaks the partnership, and bowls an over that only concedes 2 runs. What a brilliant over at that time, bowled by Harmeet Singh. End of over number 9, the score is 66 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Over 10, Praneeth Raj is your bowler. That is hit in the air. Harmeet Singh is after it. Don't think he'll get there. Runs away over extra cover for 4. So you still have a long way to go here. First ball of over number 10 goes away for boundary. Has stroked away in the air. Decent shot by Angad Singh. Look at this shot. Slapping it from outside off. Running away down the hill for 4. So I thought, and I said out loud that I thought that they'd unleash the left arm spinners. Not ready to do that yet. Harmeet Singh, he's still inside bowling, going with Praneeth Raj. Whipped away into the deep towards the gap. More runs here, at least 2 of them. Oh, loses control of it, but it doesn't get away, so he gets a couple. So a positive start to the over. Praneeth Raj now bowling over number 10. So he's moved around a little bit. Opened the bowling over number 1. then bowled over 7, both of those from the river end, the southern end of the ground. Now switching around, bowling from the theater end. 6 from the first 2 of over number 10. Played into the offside, should just be a single. Sweeper out there will clean up. And you're halfway through over number 10. A long way to go for this match. 63 balls remaining, 116 runs needed, so the required rate has now gone back up above 11. It's 11.05. And it's now going to be Wadat who's on strike. Working at square. Sankirth Batula at backward square leg. And he's there to clean up. 2 balls remaining in over number 10. So you're almost at the halfway stage of the innings. A long, long way to go. The hill to climb is getting much, much steeper. Interesting to me that with the 2 righties at the crease that they've not gone to a full diet of left arm spin. And we'll see how that develops the rest of the way. But still a very steep hill to climb. Played into the offside, just a single here. Partnership now worth just 11, so they've not exactly hit the cover off of the ball. Looking to see where you are now. Angad Singh just took a single, so it will be Wadat who's back on strike. And now, with 1 ball remaining in over number 10, Praneeth Raj delivers. And this is played down to long on. Pretty straightforward single. 10 runs come from the over, so it's a productive over from that standpoint. You're staying in and around the range that you need to be in. But now things are starting to get hard. 113 needed in the last 10, 76 for 3 is your score. Harmeet Singh back into the attack once again. This is Minor League Cricket 2024 presented by Yash Technologies. Harmeet Singh around the wicket. Ooh, appeal for the catch. Gone. Another wicket goes. Wadat edges behind, and he is dismissed. Slight tickle and a clean catch. I mentioned how good a glove man behind the stumps is Arjun Mahesh. Here, see on the replay. Swipe and a miss. Harmeet Singh immediately going up. Matter of fact, he didn't even turn around to look. He was that convinced that the umpire would have given it. And it's a pretty convincing edge. Not able to hear it from all the way up here, but the umpire was certainly convinced. Harmeet Singh didn't even bother turning around to appeal because he knew it was out. So that is wicket number 4, a big one. That wicket goes at 76, which means that your 3rd wicket partnership, or make that 4th wicket partnership, or 3rd wicket partnership was not anything near what you needed it to be. The 3rd wicket fell when the score was 66. So that 3rd wicket partnership was only 2. And then this 4th wicket partnership, only 10 more runs added. So things are starting to get more and more difficult here for the St. Louis Americans. New batter coming to the crease. Partnerships have essentially fallen apart, not able to build much of anything. And the new batter now at the crease is going to be facing up to a very wily and cagey left-arm orthodox spinner. Played into the offside. Sankirth Batula is there. So a dot ball after the wicket, and pressure is continuing to build here. Harmeet Singh bowling around the wicket to the right-handed batter. Oh, that almost snuck through. The batter is going to be Kakar. Munir Kakar, who is the wicket keeper. And he's now going to be asked, I would think, to try to put bat to ball. Quick single here. Harmeet Singh has one stump to aim at. Had he hit that, that would have been gone. But the overthrow results in a couple of runs. Boy, when you only have that number of runs to play with, you have to sort of get as many opportunities to score as you can. But this, for me, had this been hit, or had this hit, this would have been gone. Look at Harmeet Singh, quick behind the stumps. That throw, it would have been close, but I think that that would have been gone. Couple of runs, though. Plays this one into the mid-wicket area. They jog through for a single. So, one ball remaining here now in over number 11. Harmeet Singh into his second over. Bowled over number 9, bowled number 11, and he now will be just asked to close things out here without much more fuss. Played square, but there's a man out there that is, in fact, oh, that is a Karshik Gomel. He threw that left-handed. I did not know he had that in his arsenal. So, interesting. 4 runs come from the over and the wicket. Required rate is now above 12. The score is 80 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
'2024 minor league cricket season presented by Yash Technologies. Now the sponsor is Anand Milk Union Limited, or AMOL, and IRA Sportswear is the official apparel partner. This chase, St. Louis Americans, you get the feeling, are having it slip away from them. This is going to be Harish Kakani, bowled 1 over so far. Coming into bowl now his second. Short, and it is helped over the top of fine leg, goes all the way for 6. That is a lovely looking shot. Not much flourish in the shot, but he just got inside the line and helped himself. And it sailed away with the pace over deep fine leg for 6. So here's the delivery short. It was the line that time that was the issue. From over the wicket, it was slanting down the leg side. And it is sailing all the way, probably landed about, I'd estimate, a yard over the ropes at deep fine leg. The boundary there is 6 to 7 yards. So that's probably a 6 to 8 yard hit. Didn't exactly hit the cover off of it, but got enough of it to get the ball over the ropes. You need plenty more of those. Next delivery now from Harish Kakani. Needs to be more on off stump. Smashed, but straight to cover. No run there. Looking at this replay, look where this ball goes, because it was into his body, so it was not difficult to get inside the line. It just helped it. Just sailing over the top of fine leg. And the man who you saw who was in the position to field it was young Abhinav Sikaram, who is in the stands watching. He's a great cricketer, but he's not playing in this match. So anytime somebody in the stands has the best way of being able to field the ball, then you know things are not going in your favor. 3 deliveries into over number 12. 87 runs on the board. You need another 102 runs in the next 51 balls. So your required rate is exactly 12. You need exactly 2 runs off of every ball the rest of the way. And that tells you that you're absolutely going to be in a spot of bother, as they say. And I am absolutely surprised that you've not yet seen Chaitanya Bishnoi bowl. No single there. Required rate above 12 and over. So it is coming down to, that gives you a good representation there. The red, couple of those red buildings are taller than the blue buildings, and it was in the stage in the innings where the Dallas Xforia Giants struggled, but they took off toward the back end of their innings, which tells you, if you see how the back end of that blue worm is angled upward, and the red worm has some work to do to catch up to that. That's played into the offside, just going to be a single. And one ball now remaining over number 12. So all is not lost. You still have 6 wickets in hand, but 101 runs in the next 49 balls is starting to feel like it is less than doable. And when you get to the stage where you've gotten so many wickets, big wickets that have already been dismissed, then you wonder not who's going to win, but by what margin are the Xforia Giants going to win. Hammered away over the top of mid-wicket. Couple of bounces. Won't get to the boundary, I don't think. Good work in the deep. So 10 runs and all come from that over. Remember, the over started with a 6 over fine leg. So good way to close things out there, to come back into the over by Harish Kakani. That is the end of over number 12. The score is 90 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Harmeet Singh. See a quick look at your full scorecard there. Naman Anwar and Zahid Zakil top scoring, 30 runs each. Zahid Zakil's innings coming in rapid fire time, 30 from 11, but they have both been dismissed. And a lot of difficulty scoring so far for the rest of the St. Louis Americans. This is Harmeet Singh bowling now his 3rd over. Couple of overs bowled so far, and he has some 7 runs against his name, and he's already taken 2 wickets. So excellent bowling by Harmeet Singh. Off the back foot into the short side of the ground. It lands just inside the ropes at cow corner, and it goes away for 4. Need plenty more of those, but that's a good sign. That's Angad Singh. Helps himself. 23 from 12 is what he has now. Look at this replay. Just a short arm jab, getting it over mid-wicket. Jumping onto the back foot. I said mid-wicket. That's more cow corner, between mid-wicket and long on. So you'll take those runs, and a bit of a shift in the field now as they protect that area where the ball just went. Harmeet Singh coming back, and this is driven into the covers. No run there. So now you're to the stage where you need another 94 runs. You're exactly past the halfway stage. 95 runs on the board. Oh, that was in the air, almost carried to backward point, but they'll get a single, just landing short of that man at backward point. So look at this replay. The ball is cut away in the air toward backward point. Harmeet Singh has that one come off the middle, and it just lands short of that man right there. So that's a good representation of it. They get a single to boot. 2 balls remaining here in over number 13. 3rd one being bowled by Harmeet Singh. Already has 2 wickets to his name. 2 for 12. Oh, that's a back cut that will evade backward point and will run away for 4. Welcome runs here. 10 from the over so far. So how can you close things out here with a boundary? Can you get another boundary? Can you get a 14-run over? And that stroke, by the way, brings up the 100. So yes, you have a long way to go. 89 runs in the next 43 balls is not easy, but once again, you have nothing to fear but just to go for it. Tossed up, played in the offside, and they'll get a single. 11 runs coming from the over, and you need 12 and a half and over from here, but 11 runs essentially puts you on track to do something special. That is the end of over 13. 101 for 4. Sankirth Batula has bowled 2 overs. He's taken 1 wicket, conceded 10 runs, so he's done well. And he's coming back in now to bowl his 3rd over. Over number 14. From the theater end, he'll be bowling here to Munir Kakar. Batting alongside Angad Singh. Take a quick single here. Underhand throw at the striker's end. The keeper Arjun Mahesh not able to get much on that throw. Thought for a split second he might be able to run him out, but didn't happen. Very quick behind the stumps usually. Let's see, look at this replay. Look at Arjun Mahesh behind the stumps. And there, clean pickup. Very quickly off with the gloves, but running toward at that angle. Not able to square himself to make a good throw. Had he been able to hit, I think that replay shows that that would have been out. Clipped into the deep. They may get 2 runs here. Coming back for that 2nd run. The throw coming to the non-striker's end. And that's 2. So some urgency between the wickets. That's what you like to see. A long way to go. 12.75 and over is your requirement. But if you're going to go after these runs, you have to get the opportunity to take advantage of every chance to score. And so if you can turn 1s into 2s, that's the way to do it. Sankirth Batula off the short run this time. Played into the offside, a pretty easy single. So your batters are Angad Singh Bhatia and Munir Kakar. Partnership now worth 29 after that single. So they're trying to rebuild a little bit after the loss. And where you are now, you need 84 runs and you need them in 39 balls. So definitely getting more and more difficult. Next delivery. Oh, you knocked him over. Full and straight. And Sankirth Batula pointing toward the pavilion. I think it was more good-naturedly. I don't think he was trying to give him the old-fashioned send-off, but he does hit the stumps full and straight. And in fact, it came off the inside edge and kissed the outside of off stump. And he does get a wicket. So that is his 2nd wicket. Sankirth Batula, he'll be happy with that. 2 balls remaining here in over number 14. Fall of the wicket happens at 105, so that partnership worth 29. And where you are now, with a new batter coming in, you are down to the last 38 balls of the match, and you have the small matter of 84 runs to get. So once again, getting more and more difficult to make an argument for the St. Louis Americans being able to win this game. And with 2 balls remaining again, Sankirth Batula into his 3rd over. Bowled very well so far. 2 for 14 are his figures from his 2.4 overs. And the new batter coming to the crease will be taking strike. This is going to be Ujwal Vinakota. Here's Batula, full and straight I would think. Yep, full and straight and defended back to the bowler, no run. So dot ball here, so things don't get any easier obviously. Because when you're at the point where you need to go more than 2 runs a ball, every dot ball obviously makes things more and more difficult. So the required rate now 13.62. In the air, simplest of return catches. And yet another wicket goes down. Sankirth Batula is running roughshod through the St. Louis Americans. So this over only cost him 4 runs and he takes 2 more wickets. Looking to work this one into the leg side of Ujwal Vinakota. Stepping across, and boy, just the easiest of return catches. You see the celebration by Sankirth Batula. So that is his 3rd wicket, 3 overs, 14 runs taken, or 14 runs conceded, and he's taken 3 wickets. That is the end of over number 14, and the score is 105 for 6. Harmeet Singh is obviously not interested in bowling Chaitanya Bishnoi, who I was expecting to feature heavily. But they've not needed him. One orthodox spin, left arm spinner is good enough. And this is going to be Harish Kakani to continue. Bowling from the theater end, full and straight. Clipped away into the deep. That should just be a single. And that is the man with the golden arm, Sankit Batula. Harish Kakani is 2 overs already. Make that, 2 overs have cost him 20 runs. So one of those overs is relatively expensive. He'd prefer to have that one back. But so far, his team is in full control of this match. Adnit Jam is your new batter, and this is played into the offside. Wanted a quick single there, fired at the non-striker's end. He's gone for all money if that hits. Oh, that would have been a goner. Angad Singh Bhatia, who is at the non-striker's end, trying to get back on strike. And the young 15-year-old Adnit Jam is looking to get off of strike. And I think Angad Singh was trying to help him by forcing the issue, looking for that single. But I don't think it was there. Next delivery. Ooh, looking to run this one down fine. Not able to make contact. So a single and then a couple of dots. And you get the sense that essentially this game is all but out of reach for the St. Louis Americans. The Dallas Xforia Giants are continuing to apply the pressure. Required rate above 15, 15.09. Their actual scoring rate is not terrible, 7.31. But if you're chasing 189, that rate isn't good enough. Oh, off the mark here. Always wonderful to be off the mark. You may have just heard that applause. The young 15-year-old getting off of the mark in this match is a huge, huge sign of good things to come. 15-year-old playing in the minor leagues. Absolutely brilliant work for young Adnit Jam. And big picture where you are now, yes, that single makes things difficult. Every single makes the required rate go up. And you get the sense that it may be all up to Angad Singh, 28 from 17. Next delivery. Late on the big drive, maybe trying to hit it a little too hard. 2 runs from the over with 1 ball remaining. You're down to the last 31 balls of the innings. Essentially, it's getting to the stage where about only one team can win this. And the St. Louis Americans fought for a while, and then for a few minutes, maybe in over number 5, over number 6, over number 7, they started showing signs that they might be able to go for the runs, but they've fallen apart since then. And they continue falling apart here because Harish Kakani knocks back the leg stump of Angad Singh. And I just said that he may be the only one that keeps them in the game. Well, he's no longer able to keep them in the game as that ball full and straight knocks back leg stump. That is the end of the over. Look at the replay. Ball coming in and just snaking in off the pitch. That is not a bad delivery at all. Kissing the top of leg stump. End of Angad Singh. And the new batter coming in now will be the captain himself, Abhimanyu Lamba. And more to the point, another 82 runs needed in the next 30 balls. The St. Louis Americans are struggling. We'll be right back. Sankit Batula. 3 overs, 3 for 14, coming in to close out his spell. Bowling to the young 15-year-old Adnit Jam. And you've got to respect the young man who is able to stand in against cricketers who are obviously much more experienced than he is. He's a 15-year-old man, 15-year-old young man. And Sankirth Batula in particular, opening fast bowler for a long time. 3 wickets already to his name. This is a run down to short third. No run. Have to be said also that maybe what the fast bowler's mind would be thinking is, let's intimidate this youngster. Let's fire one in short and see what he does. But Sankirth Batula, I think, is doing the right thing by keeping it full and straight, getting the young man to come forward. No reason to bowl short. Looks for the big drive there, not able to get to it. Now, if he drives this one away over the top of extra cover for 4, maybe the next one would be short. But nothing doing yet. 3 deliveries, 3 dots. Sankirth Batula with the last 3 balls of his spell. St. Louis Americans 107 for 7. Another 82 runs needed officially in 27 balls. So it's to the point now where you're just waiting to see what the final margin of victory is going to be. This one is going to be high. Appealed for a leg before. Don't think that would be anything close to being dismissed. Leg by signal by umpire Partha Patanaik. For me, this is bouncing well over the top. Adnit Jam has been there for a while. In fact, let's see this delivery. I think he's off of the ground when he plays the shot. And let's see. Oh, well down the leg side. That's going well down. So it wasn't high, I don't think, but it certainly would have missed leg stump. So, Adnit Jam, 1 from 3. And 108 for 7 is your score. 2 balls remaining in over number 16. Big drive and a miss. This is the captain himself again, Abhimanyu Lamba. Adnit Jam with 1 ball remaining here in over number 16. So if this is a dot or an even number of runs, Adnit Jam will face to start the next over. It is a dot, and Adnit Jam will be the one on strike to start over number 17. Very anticlimactic end to this match as the Dallas Xforia Giants have it well under control. Score is 108 for 7. Yeah, the worm is going in the wrong direction. No. Harish Kakane back into the attack. Adnit Jam laid on the shot, and it goes through for yet another dot. This is the last over being bowled by Harish Kakane. Got a wicket with the last ball of his 3rd over. Now a dot ball to start over number 4. And once again, just waiting to see what the final margin of victory is going to be here for the Xforia Giants. Played to mid-wicket, no run. That is going to be, yet again, Sankirth Batula. Couple of dots. Maybe the best use of the rest of the match would be for Adnit Jam to simply stay out there and get some live match practice. And so it feels like this match is essentially finished, but this is good practice for the young man. Well played into the offside, and he'll get a single here. Misfield by Captain Harmeet Singh. And so that's a single that goes into the offside, and it now is going to be the captain, Abhimanyu Lamba, who's on strike. Faced 6 deliveries, has not yet scored a ball. In fact, look at the points table here. Couple of games played by the Houston Hurricanes, won both of them. Lone Star Athletics and the Dallas Xforia Giants have lost one each, but Dallas Xforia Giants will win this one very easily, obviously. If we could see that points table again, just to see what the rest of the league is doing. You don't have a whole lot of action yet. Most of the teams toward the bottom of that table have not yet played. St. Louis Americans, this is their first game. They will play these two teams again tomorrow, and then on Sunday, the St. Louis Americans will take on the Michigan Cricket Stars. So that's the schedule the rest of the day. Easy to say that the Houston Hurricanes, based on the fact that they've played a couple of games so far, are at the top of the table. In the air, over the top of extra cover, a long run for Chaitanya Bishnoi. They'll jog a couple of runs. And now this will be the last ball bowled for the day by Harish Kakani. 1-1-1 is your score. The dreaded Nelson score. And here's the last ball. Full and straight. That has more intent. It may get to the boundary. It does get to the boundary. That's a great strike. And that is Adnit Jam, who absolutely nailed. No, I think that might have been the captain himself, Lamba, who got that one away over extra cover for boundary. So you like to have those few runs at the end, and looking at this replay, yes, even though the scorecard attributed those runs to Adnit Jam, that was actually Abhimanyu Lamba who played that shot. 4 runs over extra cover to bring it the 17th over to a close. Last 18 balls coming up, 115 for 7. Shubham Ranjane has bowled 2 over. Make that, no, he's bowled, according to the scorecard, 4 overs. Don't think that's right. Oh, 2 overs. Okay, apologies. I just played down the ground, and it's going to be a single. So a few different moving parts here, but ultimately that is Adnit Jam, who's just scored a single. Shubham Ranjane is actually into his 3rd over. Conceded 5 runs from 2.1. And this is over number 18 in progress. So you would think that if needed, Shubham Ranjane could bowl over number 20, but I don't know that they would need him to do that. That is played square. That is Akarshik Gomel. Left-handed throw again. We've seen a couple of times. 1 bounce right over the stumps. No, or just 1 run. Couple of singles to start over number 18. And waiting now to see what the final margin of victory is going to be. This may be the last time we mention the required rate. It is 27. So no reason to keep tracking that statistic. Shubham Ranjane, 6 runs conceded from his 2.2. Short delivery. Whoa, very sharp short delivery. So I mentioned earlier, they've been keeping it full to the youngster. This time, Shubham Ranjane reminding young Adnit Jam that he can bowl short and he can be quick. But, has to be said, well played by the youngster who saw it coming in time and just swayed out of the way. Look at this, a very sharp bouncer. Here's a replay coming up. Oh, no, the coaches are going to want him to not turn his back on those deliveries. Sometimes if the ball doesn't bounce as high as you expect it to. Oh, look at that, going big. How far has that gone? Right down the throat of Long On. So aggressive stroke play that time by Adnit Jam, but he ends out holding out in the deep. And he will be dismissed. He did his part while he was there. played the part, looked like he was wanting to start sort of rotating the strike and getting things done, and stayed out there long enough for the experience of facing live bowling. It has to be said that that last shot was off the middle of the bat, just didn't carry quite far enough. It's a 69-yard boundary. There you see the short ball again, and then this next delivery powered it down the ground. Had that had about another 3 yards, it would have gone over the ropes, but a pretty simple catch taken in the deep. And that is wicket number 8 that goes down. And with the fall of the 8th wicket, you have now realized about the end of the match is almost underway. And I think that you'll see here, while the scorecard struggles to keep up, we'll get back the exact scores in just a minute. In fact, the new batter is going to be Mohamed Elias. Mohamed Elias coming in to join Captain Abimanyu Lamba. Short delivery. Oh, helps it over the top. Goes down to deep third. Just a single. On the boundary that time is Prathamesh Power, who is down there to make sure that the ball doesn't get to the ropes. And with that single, that takes your score now to 118. Last ball coming up here in over number 18. And Abimanyu Lamba on strike. Here's Shubham Ranjani. Short delivery, pulling at this one, and it goes away. It will go for to the boundary, and it is actually a top edge that goes away for 4. Despairing yelp that time by Shubham Ranjani. Thought he could have had another wicket, but it bounced over the top, so much so that keeper Arjun Mahesh could not get to it. Definitely see the inside edge there, and it sails past and over and to the left of keeper Arjun Mahesh. That is the end of the innings, or the end of the over rather. 4 runs coming from that last ball. At the end of 18, the score is 121 for 8. Harmeet Singh closing out his spell. Hammered straight, and it's going to go for 4. Good positive strike by Mohamed Elias. Getting that one down the ground, flat batting it straight past the bowler for 4. Harmeet Singh already has conceded 21 runs in his 3.1 overs. Played away into the offside this time. Akarshit Gomel has had a lot of work to do out there. Decent start to the over. 5 from the first 2. But when your required rate is 37.8, you can hit a 6 every ball the rest of this match, and it will not matter. So, yeah, just one team is going to win from here. Harmeet Singh, oh, he was trying to hit a 6 there. The captain, Abimanyu Lamba, not able to get anything on it. Mohamed Elias at the non-striker's end. He has 6 runs against his name. Captain Abimanyu Lamba, 10 from 11. Here's Harmeet Singh again. This is another captain by captain matchup. And this is another dot. That length is one that will not allow the batter to get underneath it. Harmeet Singh is very accurate in bowling those types of deliveries. So let's see what he does with these last 2. Fires this one through more quickly. Played back to the bowler himself, no run. So 3 straight dot balls after the boundary and the single. And this next ball will be the last ball of Harmeet Singh's spell. Done very well indeed. No reason to use Chetene Bishnoi today. They've had all the bowling they needed. Hammered away into the deep. And that is deep mid wicket, who cleans up just a single there. And the 6 runs come from Harmeet Singh's last over. 22 from the last 5, so that acceleration never did come. And going into the last over, you need 62 runs for whatever that's worth. The score is 127 for 8. Shubham Ranjane will be trying to keep the St. Louis Americans from scoring 62 runs in this last over. Short delivery, hammered away to the big side of the ground. That is a moral victory. That goes for 6. That is a big, big strike. It is an 80-yard boundary, and that landed 1 yard outside of the ropes. So Shubham Ranjane has been testing the batters with the short stuff, but the captain will not be intimidated, even though there's no way they'll win this. He pulls this one rapidly away. Look at this, lands just over the ropes at deep square leg. Let's call it mid wicket. So good looking shot. Doesn't make a big difference in the context of this match, but it's a moral victory for you as a batter and certainly for you as a captain. Last 5 coming up. The deficit is 56 runs. And looking to see where you are right now. Here's the last ball. Or here's the ball number 2. Played square. Has a shot here to run out. Shy at the stumps and a miss. Coming back for the second. Now they both are at the same end. Oh, had the throw gone to the non-striker's end, it would have been the easiest of run-outs. But the throw came to the keeper's end, and by the time Arjun Mahesh was able to realize what was going on, they got themselves back to safety. Wanted to come back for the second. Look at this. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. They both are at the same end there, and they easily could have had another wicket. But last 4 balls of the over and of the match coming up. Pulling straight. That is hammered in the air. That is a great strike by Mohamed Ilyas. So a couple of 6s here in this last over to make the proceedings exciting the rest of the way. That brings you now up to 140. You need another 49 runs. Obviously, you're not going to get those outside of a bunch of 4s or a bunch of no balls and wides. But that's a clean strike. Love to see the batter or the bowlers coming in, throwing their bats toward the end of the innings. 13 from the over already. And the last 3 balls coming up now. Shubham Ranjane, I don't think this next one will be the length that will allow Mohamed Ilyas to drive. I would suspect that this is going to be another short delivery. No bowler, no fast bowler likes being driven. Certainly not over extra cover for 6. Let's see what this next ball looks like. Nope, goes full and straight again. It's wide and it's, dropped, put down out on the boundary. Easily could have been taken, but a little casual by the fielder out there in the deep. And he easily could have had another wicket there, but he's put down out there. 2 balls remaining, 14 from the over so far, 141 runs on the board. Shubham Ranjane with a look of maybe exasperation, but doesn't really matter in the big picture because the St. Louis Americans will certainly fall short here. The only question is by what margin. In the air, is this one going to be taken? Easily taken. So the previous catch was put down. This one is taken pretty easily. And that is wicket number 9. And just about the only intrigue left in this innings is whether or not this last ball produces a wicket. Because if it does, it will mean that the St. Louis Americans will have been bowled out. So the last wicket coming to the crease, last batter coming to the crease now. 25-run partnership that time. Threw the bats around a little bit. Mohamed Ilyas and Captain Abhimanyu Lamba, and now Nasir Jamali. Left arm fast bowler. I believe he's a right-handed batter, if I remember correctly. We'll see what he does when he comes to the crease. But either way, one ball is remaining in this match, whether it is going to be a wicket or any other development. I believe Nasir Jamali, yep, he's a right-handed batter. And he will be facing the last ball. Go through the full scorecard as soon as this match is finished. The intrigue has long been taken out of this game. Nasir Jamali is ready to face the last ball of the match. And here's Shubham Ranjani. Sliced away in the air. Is it going to be a wicket? Oh, put down. Could have bowled them out. Doesn't make a big difference in the context of the game. They scrambled 2 runs to close things out. That is the end of the game. And Nasir Jamali ends up getting off the mark when he very easily could have been out. But that is the end of the match. And the Dallas Xforia Giants win by the margin of 45 runs. Full scorecard: Naman Anwar 30, Arnav Jam 2, Zahid Zakil 30, Angad Singh 28, Nisar ul Hakwada 2, Munir Kakar 11, Ujwal Vinakota did not trouble the scores, Adnit Jam 3. And the very end there, you see Abhimanyu Lamba 18 from 17, Muhammad Elias 13 from 5, and Nasir Jamali 2 from the last ball. For the bowlers, I think all did well enough. Maybe Praneeth Raj was a little more expensive than he would have liked, and Nasad Sheikh's 1 over went for 18. But apart from that, 2 wickets for Shubham Ranjani. Sankirth Batula, I think, is a pick of the bowlers. 4 overs, 3 for 14. 1 wicket each for Harish Kakani, and Naushad Sheikh did take that 1 wicket even though it cost 18 runs. Harmeet Singh, 4 overs, 2 for 23. That is the end of the match. So these 2 teams will play here once again. Tomorrow you will see exactly these 2 teams in action right here at the Prairie View, at the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. And just a quick look at the scorecard, or at the standings before we leave. The Houston Hurricanes again leading the division, 2 wins, no losses. Dallas Xforia Giants now have won 1 and lost 1. The Lone Star Athletics, no wins and 1 loss. St. Louis Americans have also no win and 1 loss. Chicago Kingsmen, Chicago Tires, and Michigan Cricket Stars still not yet played a match. That is the end of the match. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us for the last few hours. Do join us here again tomorrow afternoon. The first ball is going to be bowled at exactly 7:30 Central Time. Again, the same 2 teams, St. Louis Americans and the Dallas Xforia Giants, lock horns right here in Grand Prairie. Until then, have a good night and good luck. First ball to Naman Anwar. Played through the offside. That's going to run away close to the boundary. It's the long side, and it's going to keep the fielder interested for a while, but it runs away for 4. Something whitish and shortish. Played through the offside. That's going to race away for 4. A very similar shot to the first ball. Runners to 8 and over is not bad. In the air down the ground, that's going to run away for 4. Good looking shot from of the worm. A lot of room to go. Top edge this time, and it goes in the air and it's taken. Bishnoi, I suspect you'll see a lot of them. This is going to run away for 4. He didn't necessarily mean it to go that fine, but he'll take those runs. Last ball. That didn't go where he was looking to get it, but it goes fine, and it goes away for 4. So look, start putting bat to ball. Hammered away over the top. That's very special. That goes for 6. Oh my goodness, he absolutely. That's a good way of showing intent. Here's the next delivery. Whipped away, fine. That's going to be 4 more. So a 6 and the power hitter. In the air, deep, and 6. And so that caused the most damage from here. Quicker through the air, hammered away for 6 more. So consecutive 6s. Delivery. Hammered into the big side and catchable and taken. Big wicket there. Raj is your bowler. That is hit in the air. Harmeet Singh is after it. Don't think he'll get there. Runs away over extra cover for 4. So Harmeet Singh around the wicket. Ooh, appeal for the catch. Gone. Now his second short, and it is helped over the top of fine leg. Goes all the way for 6. Bowling by Harmeet Singh. Off the back foot into the short side of the ground. It lands just inside the rope. Next delivery. Oh, he knocked him over. Full and straight. But they've fallen apart since then. And they continue falling apart here because Harish Kakani knocks back the leg stump of Angad Singh. Full and straight. That has more intent. It may get to the boundary. It does get to the boundary. That's a great strike. Bounce as high as you expect it to. Oh, look at that. Going big. How far has that gone? Right down the throat of Long On. So aggressive stroke play from Ranjani. Short delivery. Pulling at this one and it goes away. It will go for to the boundary. And it is actually a top edge that closing out his spell. Hammered straight. And it's going to go for 4. Good positive strike by short delivery. Hammered away to the big side of the ground. That is a moral victory. That goes for 6. Over and of the match coming up. Pulling straight. That is hammered in the air. That is a great strike by Muhammad Ilyas. Obviously, you're not going to get those outside of a bunch of 4s or a bunch of no balls and wides. But that's a clean strike. By what margin? In the air. Is this one going to be taken? Easily taken.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.